Eh? What was that sound? Mm. Mm-hmm. Oh, hello. But do that. I'm not gonna do the ping today. Anything else? Let's close this, with that. Oh shit! Why did that autoplay? That jump scared me. That scared me so bad. Why did it do that? Let's see. Hello. Thank you, thank you. I need a stretch. Okay. Hello. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch to that. Close that. Hello, VOD. Hello, chat. Hope everyone's having a good day or night. Uh, I am much later than normal. Hello. Uh, I've been postponing this for like an hour or two because I, as always, when I do, as always, when I do collabs, I was sick for like a day or two. So that's what I've been up to. But it was a fun stream, so I'm glad to be feeling mostly better again. I'm still a little sick, but hello, hello. We are back to doing reacts. Uh, Tomorrow, I think I'll do something new ish. I think I'll either do like a uh, 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 Japanese study stream, or maybe, and this is a strong maybe. It's not a definite. It's a very weak maybe. Actually, it's very weak. I may do like an ASMR stream tomorrow, or maybe I might just record something. I don't know, but I need to do something different just to get my motivation back. Yeah, yeah. I've been doing too much of the same thing this month, so I'll either do hello, hello, hello. I'll either do like a ASMR thing tomorrow, or more than likely, it'll just be a study stream. I just need to do something other than art or reacts tomorrow. So I need something new. So it probably won't be an ASMR stream. If anything, I might do like a introduction video for the channel, if anything. So don't don't hold your breath. Okay. It's a very weak, very weak maybe that I'll do that. And we know that I lie a lot. No, I don't think my computer could even handle having OBS and DaVinci open at the same time. I don't think it could even handle that, let alone editing while having that open. I don't want to. I don't want to have my computer explode. I can't afford a new one with these RAM prices. I can't do that. It's too much right now. I just can't. Also, I think I might be, uh-huh, just a little undecided. Either a language Japanese stream, because I haven't done one of those in two, 3 months. I'm so bad at time, telling time apart. But it's been 2 3 months, or I'll do a ASMR stream. I don't know. One of the two. One of the two. And I think bad news chat. I think I am slightly getting reliant on caffeine. Just just slightly. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I am at a crossroads between two very similar paths. I don't know what to pick. But I'm currently drinking a water packet that is, I think, 120 milligrams instead of my usual 80. So not the best. Hello, thank you for the follow. But yeah, I am ever so slightly getting reliant on caffeine. So I'm sure it's fine. Yes, yes. I am. I have a very addictive personality to more than just caffeine. But at least this tastes good. unlike coffee, which tastes horrible. I would die on that hill. Yes, I would. I would. If Torbeck gives me a place and time, I will milk him. Speaking of that, I hit 2,000 on Facebook either today or yesterday, and I hit 1,000 like 2 weeks ago. So that's crazy. Mostly thanks to those shorts. Mostly thanks to those shorts. I hit 2,000, which is crazy. I might hit 3,000 this month at that pace. Insane. But, yeah. If you're lucky, yeah, it's doing numbers. More numbers than, like, anything on YouTube has done. I have not a clue how to do a Facebook stream, and I don't know how strict Facebook is. I don't want to get banned the moment I join, just because I am being too NSW. I could not do a horror stream on Facebook probably. But I don't know anything about Facebook. Yeah, I I don't know what age demographic my Facebook account is. All I know is it's been restricted to 18 plus. Facebook was like, nope, too many jokes. You are restricted, which is good. Fair enough. I agree. I agree. But the message for that was so funny. But hell yeah. Well, I may be able to gamble on Facebook, but I myself cannot gamble just yet. I have a few more months. I have 2 months left until I can gamble. Hello. What kind of brush? Like, was it a good brush or like a very messed up brush? Mm. I have never sold anything on Facebook. eBay is number one in my heart. Second, not nothing. I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, that is my update. If I end up doing a ASMR stream, I'll probably make a announcement for it. Maybe. Or I may not. I don't know. Announcements for that kind of thing give me so much pressure when I'm doing something new, which is why usually hmm, good to know, good to know. I only use Facebook to post my shorts. Only time I use it. And I don't know why they blow up so much because I have not tried to optimize anything for Facebook. So it's very interesting that I got like 70,000 views on one of them and like a few with like 10,000 or more. I wish that would happen on YouTube. Unfortunately not. But yeah. Yeah. I check like maybe every few days just to like send I don't know why Facebook does this, but for like Facebook pages, like what I have for my account, and you have to like manually send notifications to remind someone to be like, hey, you liked my content, maybe follow. You have to like manually do that. You can send like up to 100 at a time. I don't know why Facebook doesn't just do that automatically. It's so weird, but I have to do that every now and then just to send a few notifications. But let me take another drink. This flavor is mango. I think mango. I don't know what I'm tasting. I can tell. I think it's mango and something else. But let's get into like the focus of the stream because I need to record videos for reacts because I want to kind of postpone some of my bigger uh reacts by a few days because I am very close to monetization, so I want to push them a little bit back. What? There we go. Okay. But I'm gonna try and watch as many videos by Casual Geographic I can do today. Hopefully I make it into some Papa Meets videos because I think I have 20 on this list. No, it's a yay monetization. It's a yay. I'm trying really hard to get monetized on that channel because I think if I can get that one monetized, I can maybe actually improve some of my setup. Hopefully, maybe, or at least I don't know, get some more art done of me. Ow. Okay, my knee is absolutely killing me. Okay. Also, please tell me if you hear AC noises. Hopefully, I'm using the new one, so there should be no mic issues, I think. There should be none. So, hopefully this is fine. Because even though I have, that was not my mic, that was me hitting something. But even though I have my mic feedback into my helmets, thank you. Even though I have my mic feedback into my not my helmet, my headphones, I can't hear the AC noises because I have an AC right next to me. So if it picks up, I can't really tell until the video's done, unfortunately. So I'm really hopeful that it does not pick up. But thank you. Okay. I don't know how I managed to yap for like 15 minutes. Maybe one day I'll do the just chatting stream that I've promised. Because I still haven't talked about stuff that I was planning on talking about like a month ago. But, oh well. Let's get into the videos. I have everything. Yeah. Okay. But let's get into the video by Casual Geographic. Let me do my YouTube intros, and we shall get into it. What's up, YouTube? My name is Mystic, and welcome to Mystic Reacts. Hello, Pumpkin. Hello, YouTube. I don't know which one I like better still, but today we are watching a video by Casual Geographic. Thank you. thank you. Today we're watching a video by Casual Geographic. Honey Badger versus Wolverine. Who wins the War of Weasels? Now, I think until like last year or the year before, I didn't realize Wolverine was a real animal. I thought it was just like the Marvel character. Is it Marvel or DC? I don't know. I didn't realize it was a real creature. So I don't know much about Marvel. Okay. Hell yeah. Hello. Just in time. But I didn't realize Wolverine was a real creature, animal, for the longest time. So I know nothing about them other than that there's a Marvel character based on them, named after them. I have no clue. I don't watch Marvel or DC, so. But yeah, let's get into the video. Honey Badger versus Wolverine. Who wins the War of Weasels? I did not know either one of them were weasels. I didn't know anything but weasels were weasels. But okay. Let's get into the video.
An Oreo-flavored bowl cut wearing assault on the food web. A scavenging super soldier steroid weasel. Two animals infamous for durability blessed by the almighty, disregard of death as a concept, and being a part-time predatory hemorrhoid. An unstoppable force versus an immovable object. A fight as much philosophical as physical. And today, we'll break down how these mustelids match up until in the end, only one is left standing. Now, disclaimer, I've actually done this video before, but after some additional research and some number crunching, my answers changed quite a bit, and after mulling it over, I actually feel pretty good about my pick. Another note I wanted to add is there are no definites in nature. What I mean is, if I say animal A would beat animal B in a fight, I don't mean animal A would run the table every time. It's more like if A and B squared up 10 times, I'd expect animal A to hypothetically win at least 6.
So more likely,
wouldn't just be one contender steamrolling the other. That being said, let's meet the misfits. The Honey Badger's Black Air Force Air.
If I had to guess, I would probably say Wolverine, because there's a literal hero named after them. So I would assume probably Wolverine, if I had to guess. Maybe, I don't know. I did not think honey badgers were anything to be afraid of. It's such a cute name, the honey badger. I wouldn't really be scared of it. Okay, we will disagree and see who we will disagree and see who's right. Usually me, the streamer, is always correct. And if not, I will edit this out. But let's get into let's continue. Almost did my intro again.
Energy emanating from an aggressive tube sock. At only about 20 to 30 pounds and a length of 22 to 30 inches, the glorified parrot is too small, too slow, and too solitary for a conventional way of life. In a world of fight or flight, the honeyhead's defining trait is not having wings, and monochrome crash outs are actually their best defense. But it's not just a bluff. The bane of bees has 1.5-inch claws, mostly for digging and breaking into hives, and jaws powerful enough to crack open a tortoise. They apparently use those jaws to castrate larger animals to bleed them to death. But if we want to be fair here, we do have to mention that the castration claim came from Kruger Park Ranger James Stevenson Hamilton in 1947 and hasn't been documented since. Either way, the real flex is that if cockroaches had breasts, they'd probably be honey badgers. They're that hard to kill. They famously have thick 6mm skin that can tank quills, bites, bee stings, machetes, and most importantly, severe maulings from much larger predators. The rotel also has freakishly loose skin that makes it nearly impossible to pin down without it turning around and delivering punishment to the face. Additionally, they have a reversible anal pouch with a smell foul enough to gift angry bees the power of discernment. Although I don't think it would affect a rampaging Wolverine.
I'm getting
all in all, the honey badger punches way above its weight, and it needs to have a chance. The Wolverine is a travel-sized bear on bath salts and a different kind of cockroach, living on the very fringes of existence where most others could not. Wolverines weigh about 30 to 45 pounds and measure up at 28 to 42 inches, and they also have the honey badger problem of not having the bulk of a bear, the parkour prowess of a puma, or the power of friendship like wolves. They do have jaws strong enough to crush bone and chew through frozen flesh, and 4-inch semi-retractable claws, mostly for climbing, but also for running non-retractable fades. Like the honey badger, they have thick loose skin, but also a coat to insulate them from the elements. They're also the IRS for animals way above their weight classes. They're on record shifting cougars, wolves, and in some rare cases, even bears from meals. And again, like the honey badger, they also weaponize their anal glands enough to have the nickname skunk bear. Not something that should matter against a badger, but the fight would be an odious assault on and of every sense. The Wolverine's bigger frame means it has confirmed kills against animals up to 20 times its size.
It really looks like a bear.
Wolverine allegedly putting a polar bear in past tense by latching its jaws around the bear's windpipe. But just like with the honey badger, there isn't really evidence of a rageaholic gym sock suffocating a polar bear with more than just smell, but then again, people won't let facts get in the way of a good story. That's how some animals end up sounding way worse than they actually are, and how other animals don't get taken nearly seriously enough. Like the most dangerous animal in Yellowstone isn't a Wolverine, a wolf, or even a bear. And a quick look at these articles and you'll see that a fluffy, bearded tank puts way more humans in hospital beds.
Yeah, didn't a guy, well this is the old video, didn't a guy just get hit by a bison recently? I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, don't go up to wild animals, even if they're cute. even though I'm pretty sure that one charged at him. But don't just watch your surroundings. Watch your surroundings.
But actually reading the articles will tell you that it's the people causing problems, and the bison are guilty of only protecting their personal space. That's why it's important you have both sides of a story before you start judging, and that's why I'm working with Ground News. Ground News is an app and website developed by a former NASA engineer who saw news outlets basically bias planting to boost engagement. And like I always say, if you think you're impervious to bias, if you're as chronically online as I am, you need Ground News at your disposal. And if you use my link, I got you 40% off the same $5 a month Vantage plan I'm using. Make sure you go to groundnews.com/casualgeo, click the link below, or scan the QR code on screen to subscribe to what the Nobel Peace Center called an excellent way to stay informed. But to see who would get unsubscribed from life first,
I think
it's
the
imperative
Wolverine
to see how they move in the world
still.
they live in. Because laying out all the tools they have to work with isn't as important as how they use them in the first place. Starting with the sand-seasoned rage-baiting ratel. Honey badgers have the second widest prey range of any mustelid, and most of what they find is by using their claws to dig them up. A study done in the Khalahadi Transfrontier Park found that most of what they eat are small mammals like mice and gerbils, and small reptiles like geckos and skinks. But honey badgers are also high metabolic maniacs that'll try highly venomous snakes such as puff adders and black mambas, and they'll steal larvae straight from the heart of homicidal beehives. They're so masochist coded that many believe that they're immune to venom when they're only resistant. There are cases of honey badgers being excused from the mortal roll call while eating honey because they got stung to death in the process, and getting flatlined by snakes because they kept getting bit but refused to quit. Honey badgers seem to have a severe lack of self-preservation, but it makes sense when you live in a world where running away is physically not an option. But it also means they're crazy enough to try to meal tax a leopard right in front of it. And that's because the honey badger is a forager on steroids that doesn't pass up opportunities to eat because they virtually can't afford to. Most predators rest and chill after a big kill, but honey badger will stop only for as long as it takes to consume it before running off to find another. This mentality also helps his furry fitted sheet not fold in the face of predators, and constantly fighting back even inches from death means even if it can be killed, it often ends up being more effort than it's worth. In a desolate landscape like the Kalahari, an overachieving weasel scrounges a living in the area code of some of the most impressive and oppressive forces of predatory nature. Wolverines are survivalists on steroids that live in some of the most unlivable places on Earth. While bears hibernate through the dead of winter, the skunk bear is still outside in avalanche country. Those claws work as crampons to let the Hulk weasel cling to the side of a cliff, and having large paws means they can run across the same deep snow other animals would sink in. Those jaws are specifically designed to tear through flesh that's frozen solid, and a wolvie will eat every part of a carcass, right down to the teeth. They even have a molar that's been rotated 90 degrees for the main purpose of cutting through ice solid meat. Also,
there can't be like any nutrition in teeth, can there? Right? I don't imagine there being any like nutritional or like any benefit to eating the teeth, right? Because can they even digest those? And I feel like birds can't. I don't know about these kind of animals.
So they are the second most disrespectful creature to inclines, with number one going to goats. Wolverines will use mountains like we use crosswalks. It's actually why they're so impossible to keep track of. A motivated Wolverine will easily trek through 40 miles of rough, virtually inaccessible terrain in a day. And in Glacier National, there was one case of a Wolverine scaling a 5,000-foot peak in an hour and a half.
Nutrition
and that stubbornness applies to their diet, since Wolverines often have to scavenge under the noses of apex predators. But Wolverines can kill too, and in a study, 84% of the observed Wolverines' diets included reindeer, and 28% of those were actually wiped out by Wolverines. There might not be a worse predator to have than a Wolverine, and it's because of how they hunt. Wolverines are the pioneers of one-person persistence hunting, and in one study, a Wolverine chased a caribou for a total of just under 40 miles in a hunt exceeding 6 hours. The animal, with glutton for a Latin name, will tailgate a mark until they eventually gas out. So whether it's a determined garbage disposal or a flagrantly reckless felony ferret, beating either would be a war of attrition. But the question still remains, can he fight though? Both these animals rely on intimidation and offensive defense, but how do they fare when that bluff gets called? With honey badgers, those claws probably wouldn't feel good across the face, but the real damage is in that bite. A honey
Okay.
badger's jaws are strong enough to pull the meat out of a carcass after other predators are done with it.
Right.
They're actually built for conflict because the badger's skull has a transverse mandibular condyle that locks into the jaw socket.
Too big of words for me.
Casual
Geographic.
and makes it incredibly difficult to dislodge or dislocate. That's how a honey badger maintains its dental grip on either prey or predators, no matter how hard they buck. The jaw strength is how honey badgers are documented murking goats and sheep, usually by tearing holes in their underside and disemboweling them. The honey badger will also use its nasty bite to factory reset snakes by immobilizing them with a bite to the back of the head. By essentially shanking ops with their teeth and using claws for leverage, the honey badger has scored some impressive wins against raptors like Marshall and tawny eagles, and even the African porcupine, the same one that's a lion's last resort. When honey badgers fight each other, injuries show that they go for the face, neck, and underbelly because they know that everything else is a waste of time. The honey badger is an absolute stonewall, but its size means it's realistically not killing prey bigger than a sheep. Not like the Wolverine. The Wolverine is a walking vice grip capable of crippling prey. They have the same tight seal jaw mechanism that all mustelids do, and they use it by climbing on top of prey and eviscerating the neck and shoulder area. One of their favorite strats is running up on prey trapped in deep snow and essentially turning their last moments into a rodeo. Wolverines have used this to single-handedly take down dolls, sheep, reindeer, mountain goats, elk, and even the biggest mark in the area. From 1967 to 2001 in Krasnoyarsk, Russia, there were 19 cases of Wolverines flatlining moose, and based on the bodies, they favored tearing at the legs, neck, and shoulder. Now, to be fair, the Wolverines usually went after the young, the sick, or as mentioned, those swallowed by snowdrifts, but it's still a feral ferret the size of a mid-dog, taking the life of an animal 20 times its size. Against each other, they use their hook claws to grapple and try to land their trapped jaws around the face and throat. The Wolverine has a higher power rating than a honey badger, but the honey badger has that dog in him. Even in a dying effort, honey badgers have been known to throw hands at a lion for hours. But there's another aspect we gotta look at. And this might actually be what decides it. How they match up with predators is a big factor, since in this fight they're going up against another predator. And there's no shortage of threats to a honey badger's well-being. Lions, hyenas, leopards, wild dogs, crocodiles, baboons, and pythons are all liable to catch an African aggro skunk slipping. As much as their reputation precedes them, honey badger got quite a lot to give a shit about. Even though they can live for nearly 30 years in captivity, in the wild most won't make it past 7. Honey badgers aren't the indestructible black and white badger berserkers the internet says they are. They're actually very vulnerable to predators. And it seems that the honey badger's two biggest threats are leopards and hyenas. As funny as it is, mature lions typically avoid them, since beefing with a malice-operated weasel when you hunt buffalo for a living is a genuine waste of time. But leopards and hyenas are more curious, and since a foot-tall badger can't outrun a hyena gang or sidestep a leopard, they literally have no other option than to fight to buy itself extra time on Earth. But ultimately, honey badgers have no shot at crippling any predator bigger than a jackal, and it becomes a losing matchup when a predator decides it does have time. It's just that the honey badger's crackhead determination means it can survive situations they have no business walking away from. Wolverines don't face the sheer volume, but they still have a familiar feline build, one of the greatest pack hunters of all time, and one of the largest land predators on Earth to deal with. Like the honey badger, the Wolverine's durability has been blown up as time's gone on. They're actually really vulnerable against wolves. They'll square up and fight the good fight, but they're as brave as they need to be until there's a treat. In a study on the mortality of Wolverines in Sweden, over 40% died to a predator, likely a wolf or another reen. Of course, we're still talking about a freaking Wolverine, and you gotta take a gigaferret capable of offing elk, lynxes, and on the right day, a moose. Seriously, Wolverines are a legitimate risk to predators that can't afford to tank injuries, and this can lead to them getting bullied out of resources that may not have been worth it. Wolverines are one of the rarest mammals in America, and because they typically live in the inhospitable, we don't really know how these encounters typically go, but we know one thing for sure: wolves, cougars, black bears, and brown bears can and have killed Wolverines, and no Wolverine has been recorded murking one of them, unless you believe the polar bear story. So now we have everything to decide who
I want to believe
now we have to
it.
decide
I want to
who winning
believe it.
is. Obviously, there's no question who wins in a fight to the death, but is it still a W if you can force a forfeit first? In nature, a fight to the death is rare because the injury sustained would likely life deprive both sides anyway. As much as the drama of a drawn-out cinematic duel to the death would sell, getting one side to turn tail is just as valuable a win. So here, a win would mean either straight up destroying the other or successfully intimidating them. Now let's finally set the scene for the fight. It's the middle of an unbearably long dry season when a Wolverine and a honey badger run into each other at a fresh deer kill. Neither's eaten in days, and both may not eat for several more, and with these being two prime males, this fade might be fatal. Let's review what we got. The honey badger is arguably more durable, surviving maulings that would likely kill the Wolverine. Plus, a honey badger is liable to fight to the absolute death. But even in a fight going the distance, the biggest question remains: how does the honey badger basically beat a bigger version of itself? The Wolverine can survive one of the worst conditions of any predator, and the same jaws that can cripple a moose and allegedly a polar bear should be enough to crush the honey badger's skull. But the honey badger takes a lot to kill, and will be squirming and giving it right back the whole time. For the Wolverine, the question is, if bigger predators struggle with it, how does the Wolverine expect to be any different? It's not easy, but the winner is the Wolverine. The honey badger's lipo-looking loose skin and attitude would make this a prolonged fight. But the Wolverine's jaws are capable of inflicting enough crush damage on the badger, especially if it lands a blow to the head, which they normally go for. In a fight going the distance, the Wolverine would get beaten up, but the honey badger likely wouldn't be able to get a kill on the Wolverine. But the real winner here is the Wolverine's lack of risk aversion. Even though the honey badger's more kamikaze coded, Wolverines have been known to die trying to steal a kill in front of a bear. So the chances the Wolverine backs off are lower than the Wolverine offing the badger, or even the honey badger running first. Against a similar sized African civet, the nasty honey badger's able to pin it, but ultimately the civet's able to walk away. I can't see a honey badger submitting a much bigger Wolverine, but like I said, there are no definites in nature, and in a best of 10, I'd expect a Wolverine to force a submit or a retreat at least 6 times. It was close, but in a matchup like this, only one can take the W. So it's only fitting that the Wolverine already has it. But that's gonna do it for this video. Drink water, hug your mother, touch grass, call your father. Let me know what other matchups you want to hear me talk about, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.
Hell yeah. I called it. I am so smart. yeah, but Wolverine wins 6 out of 6 times. Hell yeah. So I am smart. Hell yeah. Well, YouTube, if you made it this far, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below who you thought would win. Don't cheat. Be honest. Who did you think would win? Be honest. What instructions? The instructions are like, follow, and subscribe. Hello. Let me end the video recording. Until next time, bye-bye. Hello. I am indeed weird. No, I am not a horse tuber. I will never live down that horse drawing, will I? I'll never live it down. Hopefully one day I will be known as something else other than my horse drawing. That sucks so much. Let's go to the next one. What is the next one? Birds. Board. What the fuck am I looking at? Casual Geographic. What is this first clip? What the fuck? Okay. No, it should not be. It is a drawing that should not see the light of day ever again. Huh. I have the memory of a goldfish. What? Okay. On to the next video, because I want to try and get as many as I can done tonight, so I can edit them for tomorrow. Okay. What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? My name is Mystic, and welcome back to Mystic Reacts. Today I'm watching a video by Casual Geographic, the science behind why birds find us cute. I didn't know birds found us cute. I only knew that elephants see us kind of as the equivalent of what we see puppies, right? I didn't know birds found us attractive. I'm also questioning what this clip I'm about to play is. It was a very weird clip from the 1 second I saw. But if you're new here, like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below your favorite bird. Yeah. I don't think I have a favorite bird. I had like a parrot or parakeet when I was younger. I don't remember which one, but yeah. Do those things, and let's get into the video. Yeah. I'm not sure that's a bird. It may be, actually. I don't know. Yeah, cats. Actually, I think my favorite bird is, I don't know if this counts, but a dodo. Probably that. Toucans are pretty cool. That's a good choice. But let's see whatever the fuck this clip is that Casual Geographic put on here.
How does this keep happening?
I don't know.
All you did was go bird watching with your friends to hopefully learn more about the world around you.
I've never been
all
bird
you've learned
watching.
is that life, not unlike this bird, comes at you fast. That's how you end up with an aggressive cock on your back. And yes, that is this Chernobyl pigeon's other name. He's not the only victim. There's an uncomfortably extensive history of birds of every feather trying to make two beasts with one back together with humans.
I've never heard
the
of
biggest
this.
birds currently walking the earth. The
Ostrich?
rabbit hole of illicit avian liaisons goes way deeper than even I was
I
expecting.
remember that
If I had a
episode.
nickel for every time a bird tried to make a man his wife, that amounts to more sense than a man that just sits there and lets it happen. What you're gonna learn is the chance a down bad dinosaur tries to force you to crash cloaca is low, but it's far from zero. But sometimes it's not the bird's fault. Parrots are a lot like us. They're highly intelligent, they can talk, and they have erogenous zones just like humans. Think of the Seven scene from Friends. The problem is, if you pet them the wrong way, they will feel some type of way. It's been said that you should only ever pet your parrot above the neck. The beak, the cheeks, the top of the head are all okay. The wings, the back, the belly, and the chest should be avoided, since those are spots only their mate in the wild would touch. Not only can touching them turn you into your parrot's mate in their eyes, you can also trigger hormonal imbalances along with behavioral issues like biting, screaming, feather plucking, excessive self-service, and even self-mutilation. In fact, in some cockatoos, it can even cause cloaca prolapse. Don't Google that. It goes beyond just leading a bird off. Starting its engine with no destination can be a blight on their health. In the words of Deadpool, they're about 80% G-spot, and they will let you know about it. And if it's not by hip thrusting your head, it's in the form of regurgitating in your ear to show their affection. In this case, it's not the bird's fault. In fact, there was one creator who went out of her way to repeatedly touch up her parrot because she thought it was funny. The whole time she was getting molested with an overachieving reptile. But there is one parrot that needs absolutely no help getting excited by humans. And you'd think this struggle parrot would pass after already getting railed by evolution. The kakapo is an indictment against all birds. It's a Kiwi muppet with wings too short to soar and body too fat for flight, and they're a keel and the breastbone shy being able to fly. The kakapo also regularly forgets that they forgot how to fly, with researchers witnessing startled kakapos run up a tree and jump, only to remember gravity and faceplant on the ground. They also only breed once every 2 to 3 summers, and mothers have been known to accidentally crush eggs in the process. Safe to say the underachieving avocado chicken has nothing positive going for it, or at least they did until humans introduced unnatural predators to their homeland. The result is that today, there's currently 240 green dodos alive and living in a few tightly controlled islands of New Zealand. But the big issue with being on nature's no-flight list is how kakapos even find a mate. The answer is the male will dig a bowl-shaped depression in the ground and make deep, booming, amorous advertisements. The good news is these calls can travel up to 3 miles away. Bad news is they gotta make these booming booty calls 8 hours a day, every day, for up to 4 months straight. And worse, like all dating apps, sometimes all they attract is a predator. So as you can guess, a lot of kakapos end up mateless and dateless, and with a Kermit-colored bowling ball living for up to nearly a century, that is a lot of romantic buildup. So much that scientists have witnessed them try to make interspecies spanky to a seabird, a fallen tree branch, and even an extra curvy piece of driftwood. And there's another problem. In 1997, one kakapo was born in the bird sanctuary on Codfish Island, but was hand-raised by humans after nearly dying to a sickness at 3 weeks old. The parrot would survive, but would imprint on humans and show zero interest in his own kind. In fact, he would only direct his booming invitations to humans. This made him a poor breeding parrot, but an excellent ambassador for his endangered peers, and in 2009, zoologist Mark Carradine would visit Codfish Island to help shed some light on the species. In response, Sirocco the kakapo would proceed to violently mate with the back of Mark's head, a moment that immortalized both of them. Yes, that's where the shagged by a rare parrot clip came from, and Mark wasn't the only one. You see, Sirocco was a certified goon. He would even set up shop by an outhouse, so any human looking to relieve themselves would be chased by the feather felon looking to do the same. To the point where they had to put a fence around the loo. If Sirocco was anything, it was persistent. Right? Scientists tried to take advantage of his preference with that. That is a bucket hat. Lose the B and add an F, and it's designed to capture Sirocco's liquid daycare to use to help further the kakapo population. The problem is, where most birds only need a few seconds to get their rocks off, kakapo coitus can infamously last an hour. So, it didn't work. Sirocco barely cooperated, and the helmet now resides in a New Zealand museum. But kakapo numbers are on the rise, Sirocco's still alive and well, and Mark will surely never wear green around Pepe Le Parrot again. But that wasn't the first time a sensually explicit hat was used to save a species. Weird. Which is ironic, because parrots are also the closest relative of the falcon. And in the 70s, the peregrine falcon nearly got wiped out in America thanks to the widespread use of the infamous pesticide DDT, this chemical within the eggshells of the falcon, making them brittle enough to break when the parents would sit on them. The peregrine population would nearly flatline from about 4,000 breeding pairs down to only 324. That was until falconer Les Boyd had an idea. Human-raised falcons also become imprinted on humans, often with familiar consequences. So he came up with a bucket hat designed to collect the falcon's fetal broth for breeding purposes. But it wasn't as simple as just putting on a hat.
Can we stop doing the hat
First, you have to wear the exact same clothes, including the hat, every time the falcon sees you, so it can get used to your outfit. Then you'd really have to get in your bag by mimicking the female falcon's vocalizations and even bobbing and bowing your upper body like a she-bird would. You'll know the falcon's catching feelings when he starts doing ledge displays and delivering food to you, which, of course, you have to accept. Eventually, time comes to collect, and that involves the male falcon flying past your head multiple times until eventually landing on your hat and proceeding to make love to your headwear. But there is no one and done. You'd have to repeat the falcon fornication process 2 to 3 times a day for up to 3 months straight. And remember, falcons are monogamous, so you're committing to a lifetime of skull bashing.
No, I'm not.
Boyd's work wouldn't go wasted, as today, there's over 3,000 pairs of breeding peregrines in America, and most wild falcons in the U.S. are descended from those captive, potentially hat-humping birds of prey. And you can thank the dedication of those falcon enthusiasts, so hats off to them. Figuratively. But it wouldn't have been possible without the bird's proclivity for getting the hots for humans. In fact, science might actually prove it. In 2002, a study found that chickens might have the same preference for human faces as we do. What had happened was scientists trained 4 hens to respond to the average human male face and did the same for 2 roosters, except with the average female face. They did it by taking 35 male faces and merging them to create the average male face, and again, but for females. And then they would show these chickens these faces on a screen, and the hens would be rewarded with food only for pecking on the male face, and the same with roosters, but for female faces. They did this until the chickens could get it right 3 out of 4 times. Then the test actually started. This time they used 7 faces, the average male face here and the average female face here, and they combined those 2 faces to create the average human, along with 2 faces with exaggerated female traits here and 2 exaggerated male faces here.
They all look the same to me.
As you move to the right.
I don't see a difference between any of them. They all look
this time, they recorded
basically the same.
Each face got. Think of it as like a poultry approval rating. At the same time, they took 14 college students and had them rate those same faces on a scale from 1 to 10. By taking the human ratings and the chicken pecks, they found that the humans and chickens had virtually identical answers, meaning the faces that the humans found the most attractive with no training were the ones that got the biggest reception from the chickens. But while it's interesting, it doesn't exactly prove that chickens want to bone people.
Well,
but one study proved exactly that for the biggest birds on Earth. In the early 90s, a study was done to explain why ostrich farms in the UK were producing less eggs,
back the hat.
even though farmers swore the dino birds displayed courtship behavior every time they checked. Well, it turned out the ostriches were more attracted to people, and in the study published by British Poultry Science, 70% of the birds in one farm had displayed to humans. That display resembles an aroused Looney Tune, and it means the Jurassic drumstick wants to deliver 10 honest inches of ostrich sauce. In fact, it was believed the male spent so much time trying to solicit another species that it led to them being rejected by their own. And even if they didn't, it was proven that the ostriches got more frisky when there was a human around to watch. Some even had preferences. Some preferred men, some women, and for some, just being a person with a pulse makes you their type. I'd like to add that male ostriches can be up to 9 feet tall and weigh 300 pounds with life-canceling claws, so that's more than workplace harassment. That is a death threat. It's even a threat to the ostriches, because according to Dr. Charles Paxton, the more they yearned for humans, the less they knew what to do with their own kind, and one male nearly broke his leg trying to top a female the wrong way. And that's not the only rat tat on record trying to ravish a human. With emus, you get the same problem, with human hand raising believed to leave emus liable to assault a person. One man, Des Fallon, even learned how to attract emus by laying on his back, pedaling an invisible bicycle, and sounding like a half-expired cat. Somehow that brings all the birds to the
I have I have no words for that pose. I
yard. And yes, it's proven to work. Some say it mimics an injured animal and piques their curiosity, but some men have nearly been emusculated in that same position. Either way, this method seems to work on 8 out of 9 emus.
You're gonna get your balls pecked in that position. Your balls are gonna get pecked. Don't, if you see a bird, please don't fucking do that pose. Don't do that.
Buddy in the back wasn't having it. But there might be another explanation, one that could be a personal problem for me. There's another theory that says emus are attracted to blacks and blues, and it's because when emus are romantically open for business, the skin below their eyes and on their necks turn a bright blue. Also, the males are the prize, because in emu culture, the females court the guys. Well, my favorite color is blue, and I wear black every day of my life, if you know what I mean. So it's possible the combination could make me look like a receptive female.
He's gonna
which
get the
could
hair.
be a problem, since emus will make moves on humans, even if they already have a mate. So while it's rare, the chances an amorous Australian outback turkey turns you out isn't zero. Speaking of turkey, I was once told by a hunter friend that you never want to wear bright colors like red, white, or blue, and I thought it was because you might get the attention of
I have turkeys. I have turkeys. Oh no. I have turkeys. I don't want to know this. I don't want to know this. I have turkeys, I have chickens, I have ducks. I don't want to know these things.
A gobbler. Turns out it's so you don't accidentally get Pat Tillman by a fellow hunter. But turkeys are also on morally questionable timing. Martin Sheen and Edgar Hall of Penn State conducted an experiment where they took a taxidermied female turkey to see how many features they could remove before the males rejected it. Well, they removed the tail, the feet, the wings, all until there was just a disembodied head. That didn't stop them, and it turns out the gobblers preferred a bodiless head over a headless body, and it's believed it's because the head is the only thing the male sees after they mount a female, literally because their fat, pudgy body blocks the rest. So basically, no head is a no-go, but the whole bird attraction thing might just be a matter of visual cues. The penguin is a great example, and another bird with highly questionable mating behavior, so much that Dr. George Levick's studies from spending an entire breeding cycle around Delhi penguins was vaulted for nearly a century for how traumatizing the things he witnessed were. But on a wholesome note, it's believed that because penguins have no natural land predators, they're not only fearless around humans, they see us as bigger, awkward penguins. And it's half true. They have to worry about aerial assaults from skuas and petrels, and in the water, they're a leopard seal luncheon. Now, this doesn't apply to all penguins. The Antarctica waddlers are definitely bolder from living in a freeze-dried desert, but it's very possible for penguins to form attachments to humans. Like this famous video of Cookie the blue penguin cuddling up to people and laughing while doing it. That video. It's adorable. Yeah, I'm really sorry to
Don't ruin it to me.
That penguin is 100% trying to mate with that man's hand in a couple seconds, and it would have been cookies and cream. So a penguin excited to see you is most likely trying to get one off on you.
I don't want to know that.
Penguins have been recorded making love to the ground. To completion. But this is all lust. The question is, can a bird fall in love with a human? I don't know, but one came close. This is the white-naped crane of Mongolia and northeast China, but thanks to the loss of their wetlands, they're one of the rarest cranes in the world, with only a couple thousand left in the 90s. Luckily, Chris Crow and his wife Walnut would become a beacon to the crane cause, except Walnut was actually a white-naped herself, and her story reads like a screenplay. Walnut was born in 1981 as part of the International Crane Foundation, a foundation where humans help raise crane chicks for the wild to help boost the population. Walnut would provide a negative contribution to the census, as by age 23, she had no children and had allegedly murked 2 males, with 2 suitors found with their bellies sliced open by claws. Allegedly. The theory is some crane chicks wake up choosing siblicide and try to kill each other and have to be removed and separated, and it's believed that this was the case with Walnut, and all that isolation around just humans meant she imprinted on humans. But this also meant that Walnut would be condemned to live a life alone with no chance at ever having children. Well, that was until the crane met a crow. Chris Crow had worked with California Condor and wolf reintroduction programs, but in 2003, he landed in Patuxent, where his job was to raise the world's rarest crane, the whooping crane.
The what?
The whooping crane work was only seasonal, so when he was eventually offered a full-time crane keeping position at the Smithsonian Conservation Biology Institute, he took it, and his first avian assignment was a genetically valuable crane that was born in Wisconsin, transferred to Denver, then Cincinnati, and finally in 2004, the Smithsonian. That's when Chris Crow met a crane named Walnut. Like a true tsundere, Walnut gave Crow zero love, growling at him and flashing territorial displays at him like a full-body middle finger. But Crow also noticed that Walnut would go out of her way to ignore attention from other males, so Crow had an idea. That summer, he would perform a crane courtship dance around Walnut, and not only did she eventually fold and give in, she would initiate a classic crane love duet, which Chris would add to when no one was around. Crow would take it further by hand-delivering nest material to Walnut the way her mate in the wild would, and eventually, Walnut got comfortable enough with Chris to allow him to touch her. At one point, Walnut appeared to invite Crow to mate with her. With Walnut fully seeing Crow as her mans, Chris would go through all the motions of crane mating, except he'd artificially inseminate her with the seed of another crane. Normally the process would involve multiple people holding the bird down, just a stressful time for everyone. But with Walnut fully committed to Chris, it couldn't be easier, and a commitment it was. Crow would go on to work with other cranes who would eventually get paired up with cranes of their own. But not Walnut, she was his. And cranes can live for 60 plus years, and losing a mate can be physically and mentally damaging, so Chris knew he was in it for the long haul. Even when Walnut was no longer part of the breeding program, Chris would still dance with her and would even help her incubate her unfertilized eggs. Walnut would pass away January 2nd, 2024 at the age of 42, leaving behind 8 children, and of course Chris. She didn't just contribute children, her story brought eyes to the plight of the white-naped crane, who today number in the mid-6,000s.
Nice.
But none will ever be as special to Chris than the one named Walnut. And on that note, that's gonna do it for this video. Drink water, hug your mother, don't get inappropriate with your parrot.
Yeah, please
don't.
I'ma
see y'all in the next one.
I learned more than I wanted to. I did not want to learn that much. But if you have birds, don't be weird with them. Okay? And if you made it this far, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye. Oh God. I'm not answering that question. I'm not answering that question. I don't want to know that. I don't want to know. I'm not answering that. Oh no, this is gonna be another bad video for my brain. Oh no. Oh no. Dolphins. Oh no. I got captains on right. Yeah. I'm gonna take a drink. I wish I could drink alcohol right now. Okay. Oh no. I've known this video is coming. I know quite a few things about dolphins, but I'm not ready to hear them again right after that bird video. I did not think the bird video would go in that direction. I thought it would go and they thought we were cute, like puppies type thing. I didn't think it would go in that direction. But okay. What's up, YouTube? My name is Mystic. What's up, YouTube? My name is Mystic, and welcome to Mystic Reacts. Today we're watching the video by Geographic, dolphins are not what you think they are. I know quite a few things about dolphins, and they have some unusual habits, to say the least. So let's get in the video. So let's get into the video. If you're new here, like, subscribe, and comment down below. What is your favorite sea creature? Yeah. I don't know what mine would be. Maybe like a type of octopus, maybe. But yeah, let's get into the video. Warning, the following video contains topics that may be considered disturbing. Viewer discretion advised. I wish we had that warning last video. Did we have that warning last video? I don't think we did. I kind of wish we had it. But let's get into the video. I don't know what that is. Let's get into the video. Wow.
The following video contains topics that may be considered disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah. Fish.
It's been a long time coming. It's been 3 years since my last dolphin video, which means 3 Halloweens have gone by with this aquatic thug wiener going unchecked. Not this time. This satanic smiling sausage, Davy Jones' delinquent offspring, this audacious ocean hippo, we'll get to that. The dolphin is a breathing, breaching hate boner, and their psychopathic tendencies come from their intelligence. Dolphins are arguably the smartest things alive without thumbs or launch codes, which allows them to manipulate the world around them, including the animals in it. Dolphins will reportedly harass pufferfish into releasing poison, which apparently they get obliterated off of, resulting in a literal nightmare rotation. It isn't scientifically proven that dolphins get elevated and hella faded off a spicy stress ball. The alternative is the jocks of the sea playing handball with a living puffer, and that's probably the most child-friendly form of dolphin recreation. I'm gonna have to get real creative with the way I describe this, but dolphins will stick their little dolphin dorks wherever they desire, including the disembodied heads of decapitated fish, which might have just been a one-off if researchers didn't also witness a bottlenose wrap live wriggling eels around their stick shift. We've also witnessed 2 river dolphins treating an anaconda like a pool noodle, except the photographer took a closer look and noticed something. The snake was likely dead, like an erectile dysfunction, which only one of them would know about since both dolphins' privates were standing very much at attention. Workers at the Dolphin Research Center also got a nasty surprise when they discovered baby nurse sharks finding their way into the lagoon and the waterlogged hot dogs using them as volleyballs. Dolphins might be the only animals to use other living animals as tools, with a group of dolphins discovering that they could use live sponges as snout guards as they scrape the sea floor. It's not proven sponges can feel pain, but it makes no difference to these brine bullies. If a dolphin can use another creature as a pawn, it will. That's how one dolphin created a whole seagull murder ring just for some extra fish. Basically, Kelly the dolphin had an unspoken agreement with her trainer where she'd get rewarded with fish every time she helped clean litter from her tank, including expired seagulls. So Kelly would hide a fish during feeding and then use it to bait seagulls when no one was looking, only to snatch them, drown them, and exchange the waterboarded bird for more fish. Not only that, Kelly taught her daughter the same trick, ensuring the seagull side circle goes on at least another generation. Another time a dolphin's brain was someone else's downfall was down in the Gulf of Mexico, where biologists stumbled across hundreds of decapitated catfish bobbing around the water. Not only that, the eyes and the fins were still moving, and the fish heads made this disturbing grunting sound when brought on the boat.
But they're
the
still
cause was
alive?
Catfish have several serrated spines for self-defense, and a gang of Gulf bottlenose dolphins apparently realized they could nerf the catfish by surgically beheading them. But so far, we've seen dolphins working harder, not smarter, with seagulls, sponges, and catfish all being collateral damage. That doesn't explain dolphins being a jihad to other animals unprovoked. Dolphins in Belize have been attacking and even life-depriving baby manatees. They've even gone as far as separating manatee calves from their mothers to make an attempt on their life. This is the same animal that finessed its way on an alligator's whitelist, getting folded by a pack of flippers. Dolphins are literally if hippos went the Professor X route, lost their legs but gained hyperintelligence, which isn't a joke since the closest living relative to whales and dolphins are hippos. But the animal that gets it the absolute worst from dolphins are the ones that look the most like them. Dolphins have a homicidal obsession with porpoises, with cases of them washing ashore with bite marks and broken bones. It's like they can't help themselves for real. It doesn't matter what they're doing. Put a porpoise in their presence, and it's like the Powerpuff Girls going Gotham City on a green monkey. In 2016, one lone male bottlenose flatlined at least 6 porpoises, and the injuries were roughly the same. Fatal hemorrhages, broken bones, and lacerated lungs. No one knows for sure why dolphins are purposely committing acts of war, but the best guess involves how dolphins behave with each other. because if you thought they were better to their own kind, you don't understand the depravity of this malice-fueled middle finger. Dolphins regularly commit the act of infanticide, with males often harassing and separating the mother from her defenseless calf and escorting it off the census. It's a classic case of deleting the baby to have a shot at the now child-free mother. Plenty of animals like horses and hippos do this, but no animal takes baby abolishing as far as dolphins. There was a case where a mother orca and her adult son worked together to drown a baby killer whale, also the son could sensually explore the mother that watched them do it. In 2020 in Mutsu Bay, Japan, researchers witnessed a gang of dolphins pull up on a mother and her calf and begin mauling the baby. What shocked them was suddenly the first group stopped harassing the dolphin calf, only for a second group to show up and go at him even harder. For well over an hour, 23 different dolphins got involved, and a newbie dolphin was sent to the gulag after being hit over 100 times. And knowing what we now know about dolphins, that might have just been business as usual. Dolphin Society is like an episode of Oz, and like the show, it all starts with the men. When a male dolphin is young, they'll form a group with 2 or 3 others, and these will be the closest bonds these males will ever have, as these alliances can last decades. But it's not just kumbaya. The main reason for them linking up is these dolphins will kidnap lone females and keep them in custody for weeks, while they mate with her the entire time, consent sold separately. These dolphin gangs are highly possessive and even have a specific pop sound to tell the female to swim closer, and she can get jumped for not complying. The females usually fight back, but only escape about 25% of the time. Not only that, but these water Weinsteins mate year-round, meaning an unlucky female can get tagged by multiple gangs in one trip around the sun. 3 dolphins acting as the Musketeers of Malice are known as a first-order alliance. There's also a second-order alliance, with additional dolphins doing the dirty work for the group, work including attacking other pods, stealing their females, while protecting their own from equally less crazy males. Basically, the first-order alliance is like a basketball big 3, with the second order being the role players. Of course, sometimes 2 second-order alliances join forces to create, a third-order alliance.
How many alliances
the
are
largest
there?
non-human social network on the planet. They use it to operate like a pack of sea ditties. Penetration without permission is so rampant that female dolphins actually evolved the same equipment as ducks, where they're yeah, those are maze-like to flush out any unwanted baby batter. But the male's response was dolphins developing a 12-inch pink prehensile bedroom arm. Speaking of which, male dolphins aren't even safe from each other. Non-allied males assert dominance by biting, jaw clapping, tail slapping, and mounting. The Brokeback kind. Remember, it's Ocean Oz out here. To be fair, that's also how they play, and young male dolphins will actually practice on each other and take turns being the female long before they try it on a real one. There's nothing wrong with that. Except dolphins have a nasty habit of projecting. I'm 99% sure the porpoisides and manatee maimings were because both animals look like the babies of their own kind, which is pretty insane logic. Imagine someone on trial for running over the vertically deficient, only for their main defense to be that they thought it was a child. Porpoises and sea blimps aren't the only ones catching strays. Since 2022, more than 45 people have been attacked while swimming in Fukui, Japan, leaving many with broken bones and bites. And it's believed these attacks were carried out by one male Indo-Pacific bottlenose dolphin. And it's been said the reason for this one-man dolphin demon campaign? Horny. Scientists think this dolphin is sexually frustrated and lonely and is taking it out on the humans around it. And the scariest part? There's a good chance he's only playing. Because if a 9-foot, several hundred-pound flesh missile wants you dead, you're simply dying. People say the rogue dolphin will often swim up to people and try to press his pink sword against them, which is actually the same way dolphins in an alliance act, so he's really just acting out natural behaviors, but on people, only to lash out when they don't respond. He's not the only one. As you know, I went to the Cayman Islands earlier this year, and you'd think the most dangerous part would be me getting intimate with a stingray. It was actually me swimming in the same waters as Stinky. Stinky was a lone male dolphin infamous for trying to violate divers that meet his eye. One victim, Michael Mays, recounted how he and his wife were snorkeling and enjoying Grand Cayman when the menace named Stinky showed up. Michael tried warning his wife before Stinky charged her, slamming into her repeatedly. Someone should have warned Michael that he was what Stinky was after, as the dolphin attempted to dork Mike in front of his own wife. And you know dolphins don't discriminate, with both Jessica Alba and Demi Moore seeing just what happens when a dolphin decides to go on booty warrior timing. In fact, one dolphin's impulses likely ruined a man's life. Alan Cooper was an animal rights activist who also became close with a dolphin named Freddie. Not that close. Who he actually met in the wild.
I don't trust anyone after last video.
Except one day,
when you
Alan
say
swam
close.
with Freddie, and bystanders watched and swore that Alan was getting handsy with the dolphin, and he would end up getting accused of going Rocky Balboa on little Freddie. Papers called him a dolphin diddler, and it went all the way to court. Whole time, all that really happened was Freddie got a little too homosexual and wrapped his prehensile trouser tongue around Alan's arm. Even with the case thrown out, Freddy's freak-off was a stain that largely derailed Cooper's career and killed almost any chance he'd ever have of being taken seriously. Yeah, there's a reason why legends say that Amazon river dolphins will shapeshift into men at night and impregnate young women before changing back in the morning. Dolphins are like the chimps of the sea, but where chimp society revolves around violence, dolphindom is centered around getting their rocks off. But dolphins can be just as dangerous as any wild animal. Pretty privilege makes you forget it's a hyper-intelligent pack-hunting super predator that could fold you 7 ways to Sunday if they wanted. And no dolphin showed that more than Chiao. Chiao was a male bottlenose dolphin that showed up in São Sebastião in Brazil in the mid-90s, where he was popular for his friendliness around humans, especially women, to the point where he started to see other male humans as a threat, and this time he wasn't playing. By December 1994, Chiao had sent nearly 30 people to the hospital, including one case where he attacked 2 men, breaking one's ribs and killing the other. So as you can see, dolphins commit atrocities against the world around them, against humanity as a whole, and even against their own kind. But do you know what actually makes them evil? It's not rhetorical, because there isn't anything I've said about this womb fish that something in nature doesn't also do. Yeah, dolphins wake up feeling like Jordan. So do lions, hippos, and zebras. That's 3/4 of the cast in Madagascar. Yeah, dolphins do the unspeakable with fish, but I've seen chimps get downright deplorable with a frog. Chimps will also murk rival children and then turn them into lunch meat. Yeah, dolphins are basically eternal erections, but penguins are so deviant they traumatize the researcher. First seals have been seen defiling penguins, and speaking of seals, researchers have documented mateless male sea otters breaking baby seals with no approval. The point isn't to pass the buck to someone else's favorite animal, it's that these animals are just trying to survive. Dolphins are just that much better at it. If other animals could, they would. Hell, we can, and we have. Early cavemen also cannibalized human children, and meal prepping brains was somewhat regular. And before you judge otters and penguins, in 2022, 4 men were arrested for the crime of assaulting an endangered monitor lizard. And no amount of wordplay will let me talk about what people did to Pony the orangutan. Just know, if I can't speak on it, it must be bad. I mean, if you believe in alternate realities and that art mirrors life, then you also believe that somewhere in the universe, there's a dolphin with a snapback and a tiny mic talking about how humans are the spawn of Satan behind a green screen of this guy. Morality is really a social construct, and I think dolphins were just smart enough and just cute enough for us to move the goalposts and judge them by human standards. Then I think people be trying to correct all the shark slander, which is probably a crazy thing to hear from the same guy that made this. Here's my thing, everything I said dolphins do in this video is true, at least to my knowledge. But when I'm calling them a sea diddy or a water Weinstein or Satan's 9-foot hate boner, we call that a sentence enhancer. Especially when I'm calling something a homicidal threat to national security, kind of a what you say, not how you say it. Am I backpedaling? I don't think so. I mean, I love animals. I don't want you to watch my videos and go drop kick an otter, or pray chimpanzees go extinct, or hate dolphins. I don't even hate dolphins for real. There's also the whole overcorrection thing. I feel like there's 2 ways people see animals. There's a Disney side, a side that told people elephants think we're puppies, and a side that convinced Buddy this was a good idea. And then you got the side that would legitimately sleep better at night if Thanos would have had beef with dolphins. The thing is, both sides can get the animal put on a shirt. Bad PR almost got sharks and wolves wiped out. At the same time, Fred the walrus had to get put down because people literally wouldn't stop getting too close to her. Because the worst thing a wild animal can do is forget its fear of humans. The part of Chiao's story I didn't tell you was the part where people kept harassing him, even trying to pour beer and stick ice cream cones down his blowhole before he started fighting back. What I think is, for decades people looked at dolphins with Disney glasses and sharks were the monsters, and overcompensation has it flipped where really neither animal belongs on either side. Elephants are my favorite animals, and they're probably the best example of this. In 2011, a herd of elephants showed up to their caretaker's home after he died and held their own 2-day vigil and would return every year on the same day to mourn him. An elephant also traveled over 100 miles to flatline a 70-year-old woman only to desecrate her corpse at her funeral. This elephant was filmed trying to rescue a rhino stuck in a pit before lions could get to him. Elephants were also responsible for running through rhinos like a yellow light. Dolphins aren't evil prison bullies or innocent sea angels. They're just dolphins. But you know, maybe I haven't talked enough about the other side of dolphins.
What?
Like, you know, dolphins have specific names for each other that they'll respond to. They also recognize each other by urine, so they really got a whole 2-factor authentication.
Pregnant
dolphins will teach the unborn calf its name by singing it constantly while it's still in the oven. Speaking of babies, newborn dolphins don't sleep for the entire first month of their life, which means neither do their mothers. Dolphins are highly emotional, and just like elephants, they also mourn the dead. One orca made headlines when she carried her lifeless calf on her nose for 17 days and over 1,000 miles. And with orcas, they're one of the few animals on the planet to go through menopause, and the most likely reason is so elderly orcas can stop worrying about being mothers and instead focus on being grandmothers. That matriarch system is why dolphins, especially orcas, have not just their own cultures, but But they even have trends, just like us. For example, in the 80s, one orca was seen carrying a dead salmon on her head for no reason but a fashion statement.
Oh yeah,
And in
that
less
was in
than
the
2
other
weeks,
video,
the
wasn't
orca
it?
influencer had not just her own pod, but 2 others doing it. Things like that are how orca OGs pass knowledge down. They even have their own way of disciplining children. Sometimes when dolphin calves wander too far, the mother will toss the calf in the air as punishment. Repeatedly. For up to 40 minutes straight. But considering wandering off can get the baby canceled by a pack of males, I see where she's coming from. But males aren't even that bad. Dolphins will often have their version of a midwife, a dolphin auntie, that assists with birth and helps with the calf. And sometimes this dolphin auntie is actually a male. And of course you got stories of dolphins saving people from drowning and sharks, but one dolphin went way off script. In 2008, a mother pygmy sperm whale and her son got stranded, and rescuers spent more than an hour trying to return them to sea and even considered putting both of them out of their misery. That was until popular bottlenose dolphin Moko appeared and led the trapped whales through a narrow channel back to sea, saving them both. A year later, Moko nearly drowned a woman he was playing with because he got too excited to let her return to shore and she almost got reverse baptized. You see that? Duality. So yeah, I don't hate dolphins. I don't hate any animal. I'm not fully bending the knee. I'm gonna still get my jokes off when I can. But moral of the story, manatees are the most wholesome creatures alive. And last year, one named Hugh, past tense, after a bigger male confused him for a mate and literally ripped him a new one. The worst part? It was his brother. If they can do that, dolphins can't be that bad. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Make sure you drink water, hug your mother. Don't hug a dolphin unless you're prepared to end up like Hank. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.
Hell yeah. If you go into the ocean or an aquarium, be careful. Be careful. Huh. But I don't know how to in this video, but if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and again, comment down below what your favorite sea creature is. Yeah. And until next time, bye. My nose is so itchy. Wow, you're actually being nice to YouTube for once. That's shocking. And then immediately you prove me wrong. The duality. Okay, let me name that. Hopefully the next video is happier. I don't think so though. Let me check. I might do. Yeah, that's not a happy video. Yeah, the other one that says hate got modded. Obviously, love is not gonna get modded. I think I'm gonna put two. I'm gonna do 2 Papa Meat videos, I think. In between that, since these probably won't be that light, because usually Papa Meat the horrors of blank aren't the happiest, but it's happier than the next video from Casual Geographic, at least, because it was not a happy video. So I'm gonna go with this one instead, because I also need more than just Casual Geographic today. Hell yeah. Sharks are cool. I would never want to swim with them, but they are cool. Thank you, drink. Have any of y'all been to water parks? I've been to a few. I quite like them in comparison to, I prefer water parks over, like, theme parks. Because I burn up too much for normal ones. Wow. Okay. Ooh. I am not a big fan of, like, water slides. I'm always terrified I'll just, like, go over the edge, or whenever I hit the pool, I'm terrified I'll just forget how to swim and drown. Is that a weird fear? I'll just hit the bottom and that I'll just forget how to swim. Obviously, I'm still here, but it is a fear I have, so I don't go down. Oh, I hate tunnel slides. No, no, no. I feel like I'm always terrified someone gets stuck before me and then just waits in the tunnel. I'm terrified of that. Okay, intro. What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? My name is Mystic, and welcome to Mystic Reacts. Yeah. No. I'm not claustrophobic. I just don't like being in a closed space with water. That does it can go very, very wrong. But hello, YouTube. My name is Mystic. We are watching a video by Papa Meat, the Horrors of Waterparks. I enjoy water parks much more than like theme parks and roller coasters, but I have not been to that good of water parks. So, yeah, I've been to some, not the best ones. I have a lot of weird fears about water parks, or most public things, I've realized. But let's get into the video and see what the horrors of water parks are. Probably the horrors of how unsanitary they are. But my favorite thing about water parks is them having the Dippin' Dots. I like wrapping myself in blankets, but I have been like I have been rolled up in a blanket and restrained. Hated that. But if I'm the one wrapping myself up in a blanket, that's fine. Not when someone else does it. Nope. But let's get into the video. I much prefer like the pools or like those water things that squirt up that you like run around. I like those, not so much the rides. I just like water.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming sun down because today we're going to be talking about water parks. Summer is finally upon us, my friends, and that means grilling, fireworks, and unfortunately the sweltering heat. I can't stand it. My fat body oozes sweat all the time.
Reminds me of
so fat, so disgustingly fat. As a skinny man, do you like the heat?
No.
That's surprising. I feel like you're a big heat guy. To beat the heat.
I hate the heat. I am so hot-blooded. Anything above like 60 Fahrenheit, I hate so much. I hate it. I love winter. I love fall. I hate summer so much.
Some stay indoors in the nice air conditioning, while others take a dip in the pool. For those who are seeking more of a thrill, water parks offer exciting and sometimes dangerous attractions. From fast-paced water slides to raging wave pools and soothing lazy rivers, water parks can be an exciting adventure for people of all ages.
I love lazy rivers. I've never been on one of those wave pools. I would be terrified of someone like hitting me unconscious and drowning. I have rational fears.
However, as time goes on, they become far less enchanting as a concept, especially as you get older and realize what's going on behind the scenes. Also, just your eyes open to just being like, this is kind of disgusting. You know what I mean? When you're younger, you're like, what? When I was younger, my fat ass was just like, that's where I get Dippin' Dots. Go to the water park, I get all brony, and I eat my Dippin' Dots.
I just mentioned that, didn't I? I love the Dippin' Dots. I loved the cookies and cream and cookie dough. Those are my favorite. I want to get some, but I can never find them at stores. Yeah, it's so hot. It's so humid here. I hate it.
Can you imagine all the people who don't wipe properly and they're going in like the wave pool?
But don't wipe properly. Shit ass, mud butt. Oh, the amount of fecal dust or matter from dry poo poo has got to be crazy. The biggest thing for me is pee. There's no way there is a filtration system that can fill. I mean, you are just getting covered and drinking pee. You know, wait for kids out like, oh, wow. They're like, but what the dude sprout out? Dude, especially when I've like been sitting there, like I said, as like a little fat ass kid just bobbing around. Definitely just took a piss, and I see like a little girl next to me, like, and I'm just like.
Yeah, little girl, no. Are you the one who took a piss?
Oh yeah. I was a kid. I don't know. Yeah, listen. The older you get, the more you're like, that's disgusting. People like, they're like, yeah, it's a joke, it's fun. Until after a while, it's a crime scene. It's a fucking crime scene. While they may still seem fun, water parks are some of the grossest public places you can attend. They're filled with various germs, parasites, and fecal matter. Shit, poop.
Yep.
Parasites.
I saw a lot of that in the pools I visited. Ugh. I'm not answering that question.
Never thought about that.
Yeah, little bugs swimming around, actual germs and parasites. It's a nightmare.
Parasites?
If you had a tape
you know what? I have no idea, but I'm gonna immediately say yes. Put on your goggles as we make our way through the disgusting and dangerous world of water parks. Despite being known as a family-friendly attraction, most water parks are pretty disgusting and trashy. I think once again, as you get older, you realize that's every single water park. I don't think I've ever. Is there a fancy water park? Considered a fancy water park?
I don't know.
Rich
we had
people's?
Wild Waters where I lived.
That already sounds like a trailer park. Where do you live? Wild Waters?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anyone. We had Oceans of Fun, and even that, once again, that sounds like an American Ninja course or something like that, doesn't it?
I think they're inherently trashy. Also, they
gotta be.
Have I been to any like good? I think I've been to like one or two good water parks. Most of them are just like the local. Yeah. I think I've mostly just been to like local town recreation centers that have pools and have like open like outdoor slides and stuff during the summer. But I much prefer indoor pools because there's no one except for like old people go in them, so I don't have to listen to like loud kids
degrade
scream
very quickly with all the chlorine.
Well, that's why everything has like rust on it. Just because there's I mean, like that's why you like look at stuff. Like you're gonna walk up the steps of this thing, you, like look at the structure of it. It's all like rusted and just dripping. There's just water. You're like, is that okay? Yeah, it's fine. Despite being known as family-friendly attractions, most water parks are pretty disgusting and trashy. Great Wolf Lodge is one of the most popular water parks in the U.S. with 23 locations across the country. There's even one around here. I went there once. Great Wolf Lodge is essentially like a log cabin themed hotel with a massive indoor water park, and there's like various restaurants and activities inside, all geared towards children. It's basically like a place where if it's your, like, at least for when I grew up, it was like, oh, it's your birthday, I'm going to Great Wolf Lodge. You'd be like, whoa, because you go to the water park, there's like arcade, there's like interactive.
The only thing I did for my birthday was either have like a home birthday party, or I think I had like a Chuck E. Cheese birthday party once or twice. But majority, I would go to a skating rink because I loved to skate as a kid. Those were the best parties, just going and skating. The dream. I might go skating next month. I'm looking forward to that. Look forward to that so much. Huh? I'm not gonna ask questions about that. You do you, man. You do you.
As a kid, it's cool, but usually if you're an adult, you go there, it's just because your kid gets to run around and do stuff. Despite being very popular, the water park also has a pretty vocal group of haters online. There are tons of reasons to rip on the park, one of which being the ridiculous pricing. Some people have reported spending well over $1,000 just to stay for the weekend. For a weekend! Can you imagine going to Kansas, of all places, like hell on earth, and you're like, you know, I'd love to drop $1,200 on Tim's birthday.
Yeah.
You're in an indoor. I mean, there's like there's two slides in a pool.
I went there as a
child, so I've never paid, but I gotta tell you, if I went there for a weekend, Friday, left Sunday, and I spent $1,200, Dad would be dead in the parking lot. Dad would be dead in the car. Why is Dad not moving in the car? And just you see like a little Ford Explorer parking lot, and I'm just like.
Let's take a quick break and do something important to upgrade my magic collection. The Marvel set is out, and I'm curious to see if there's anything I want to get for my cube. So why don't I just pop over to Whatnot and see what's going on? candy, meat, and seafood. Use my link or scan the QR code to get $15 off your first purchase anywhere on the app. Plus, if you follow me on Whatnot, you automatically be entered to win $1,000 in Whatnot credits so you can buy some magic packs or anything you want. Thanks Whatnot for sponsoring the video. Back to the video.
Once inside the building, you'll be met with an overwhelming smell of chlorine, and the sound of children screaming goes on all night. It's the worst kind of casino experience. Usually it's loud music and slot machines. This is just the smell of chlorine and just children. Are these the screams of pleasure? Is this fun? Like, are kids having a good time, or is there a man walking around killing these kids? I don't know. Also, the log cabin aesthetic does not help. It reads like a horror film. Yeah, there's probably like just a fucking like 7-foot guy just like walking around the halls with like a fucking machete.
Would that work? A horror themed water park?
That would be awesome.
And then the water's blood.
Oh, the clientele would be terrible though. Like avid horror fans are.
I don't know what he's gonna say, but I would probably go to a horror themed thing. That'd be fun for like a video. I might do that if that ever existed. That'd be interesting.
Or the fucking
sliders everywhere.
Oh my god, sliders! Yeah, a bunch of fucking big old boys and girls wearing like Jack Skellington shirts and shit like that. Can't wait for Terrifier 4 to come out. Or that'd be my hell. This is partly because they have games on every floor that run well into the night, encouraging children to run through the building and scream their heads off the entire time. One angry guest said, and I quote,
"And with hundreds of kids in the water, the bathrooms are always empty."
This sentence perfectly describes the amount of piss.
Why would you say that? Why would she say that? I would never enter that.
Hundreds of kids in the water, the bathrooms are always empty.
This sentence perfectly describes the amount of piss and feces that can be found in the waters at the water park, which I gotta say, I mean, do you think people break for turds?
No.
Does it just go by and you're like Neo dodging it? Oops, miss me. He keeps swimming.
I never did this, but I was fantasized. You know, in pools, they have the little lip where the water gets filtered. I was imagining putting my butt up to that and taking a poop in there. So I'm sure.
Nick, what the fuck? I thought he was gonna go a completely different direction with that, like a sexual direction. I didn't think he was going that direction. If he went the other direction, same. But this one, no. What the fuck, Nick? No. What the fuck?
I was imagining putting my butt up to that and taking a poop in there.
Hi.
I'm sure.
Why is that a fantasy?
I'm just saying, as a kid, I
wanted to take a shit in the. There's a big dollop of drool just going around. I'll tell you what, I'm fucking real. Just a big dollop of spit. He's like. Have you ever done it? Be honest.
No.
Nick.
No, I never pooped.
You can't say no, but.
My friend was big into water polo, and he said all the time, like, oh yeah, we never use the restrooms. They were locked. He said that we'd piss in the pool, and then we'd go out into the field and take a shit.
They locked them?
Just not even being able to wipe, and then going back in the chlorine pool is just, that's crazy, man. Muddy waters is what that is. People playing the blues. When staff are not fishing turds out of the splash pad, they're dumping gallons of chlorine into the pools to combat the constant flow of piss. They're basically doing chemical warfare. These kids are gonna get sick. It's like, it's too much, Joshua. I don't care. Because usually you do that shit before people are out of the pool or whatever. I've seen people like dumping shit.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Like dumping chlorine into the pool because they're just like maybe the pH levels are too fucked up or so. I don't know. The sheer amount of chlorine in the water regularly causes kids to suffer from severe chemical burns and vomiting after ingesting small amounts of the water. God damn, dude, they look like victims of fucking Chernobyl. Kid coming out of the pool. I've seen plenty of kids vomit from drinking chlorine though.
Oh, I've never.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh, it's hilarious.
I've never seen that.
When you're a kid, it's always so funny. Haha, there's Tanner, and he's like, oh, it's just water vomit. Oh.
What was your worst experience at a water park?
I was in a lazy river. Whee! Because it's fun because the current's going, so you get to go fast. Woo! And I came up and a Band-Aid was stuck to my cheek like that. And I peeled it off and it was like just bloody as shit. And this girl came over, she's just like, you got my scab!
Oh, she's hitting on you.
What?
Yeah. See, it's so funny. That's how you decipher that. I'm like, it's disgusting. I was
I don't know
gagging,
what my worst experience
my lady.
Yeah.
I guess this shit fits.
I can't think of any bad experience like this, but I remember I was terrified of the wave pool.
Oh, I done wrong. I was a pussy at the wave pool too. There's
I
always
would
like one
never do
child
that.
in distress in a wave pool too. Have you ever noticed that? Every time you go to a wave pool, it's always one kid that's like way farther than they should be, and they're like this. No one cares. No one cares. The lifeguard's just looking down at him like this. Some fat kid in a Tasmanian devil shirt just like this. Oh God. Yeah. Oh my God. I still am haunted by that. Actually, that's bring back deep memories. God, it's at everyone. I don't know what attracts those kids out there. I always think like those little fat son of a bitches in those shirts, like bobbing their way out to the deep end.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Keep going out that way. Come back this way. Also, the current is pushing you the opposite way.
I've never seen a wave pool.
Outside the kids area, guests report that the rides and support beams are corroding. At the Dallas location, the outdoor areas don't offer any shade unless you rent a cabana or an umbrella, leaving the sun baking the guests. Also,
yeah,
mind you, children.
There's like no shade anywhere.
Yeah, if you have the pup cabana, the Great Wolf Lodge, you gotta have the pack. You have to be a pack leader to get a cabana. I like how you would think that for a kids thing, it's like there has to be shade everywhere. Even if the facility you are staying at is great, some of the guests at the Great Wolf Lodge can be pretty fucking weird. While climbing the stairs to a water slide, a man records himself fondling and staring at his wife's butt while he's in line with children. Get your ass up there.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, that's probably a breeding ground for horn dogs.
I bet you, what I'm wondering now, it's got to be a swingers playground. That's what it is, dude. And I bet you anything, they fucking probably rent some rooms and they drink in the rooms. They're like, go find the wolf. I don't think there is a wolf here, Dad. I think it's called that. Go find him. You shut there. That's not Mommy. Her name's Teresa. Slams the door in a kid's face.
Yeah, Daddy's the wolf.
If the wolf's howling, don't come knocking. In 2017, a 3-week study was done in Canada to determine the average amount of piss found in public pools. They found an average of 20 gallons of piss whizzed out across 3 weeks. The authors view this as a public health concern, but most people aren't as concerned so long as they don't get caught doing it themselves, right? You don't think that's that much?
20 gallons over 3 weeks. We're talking thousands of gallons of water. I think scientists, they're trying to...
Yeah, it's big pharma trying to stop us from drying or something. Okay. Former employees of various water parks revealed that the grossest part about the job was seeing what the water looked like before it was cleaned up and prepped for attendees to enter. One described large clumps of hair, sunglasses, old Band-Aids, used condoms, and all of that shit would just be floating around you as the pumps made it swirl.
People fucking those? Ugh.
Whirl into a torrent of just yuck.
Condoms now, that disgusting.
I didn't even think about used condoms. We just got to talk about the swingers thing. Can you imagine just be like, fucking rip it off and then just toss it in the water? It's insane.
Oh, I bet you there's some people bumping heads in the wave pool.
You talking this?
Yeah.
Oops. Can you imagine being in the wave pool and the guy next to you just like, uh-oh. Now you guys start to collide and shit. You have your hands together. What's going on? I found out a lot about myself today at the water park I didn't know. Jousting. Honey, it's time to get out. Give me a minute. At a wildlife theme park in Kansas, children were playing in a splash pad where nozzles in the ground shot water up into the air. The CDC was alerted that multiple people had contracted.
Don't ruin this for me.
The CDC was alerted that multiple people had contracted an infection called shigellosis.
What?
Shigellosis? What the fuck? Had contracted an infection called shigellosis. It turns out that a total of 40 people of varying ages became ill from the water park. 3 were hospitalized from shigellosis and another from norovirus. The CDC had to urge people to practice proper safety habits before re-entering the Kansas Wildlife Park. This included avoiding consumption of pool water and any poop or pee in the water. That's so true about Kansas, those fucking inbred bastards over there. You guys realize you can't eat and drink piss, right? Are you serious? Are you serious? I was planning on going up to the wildlife park and getting me some shigellosis. They also advised against standing over the splash pad jets, worried that it would rinse feces off of people's asses and end up in other people's... It would rinse feces on people's asses and end up in others' mouths. What is this hellscape? Are people just sitting there like... It's like shit water going everywhere?
This is ruining my childhood.
I tell you, it is fun. It's fun being out here at Wildlife Park. Honestly, I'm trying to be. Let me ground myself here. Do I even wipe good enough? See, that's why I use bidets now. Because I'm telling you, there's nothing left after.
I think I wipe good, but then some days I'll take my pants off. God damn! What the hell happened?
You're like, when did I put a brown marker in my pants? Yeah.
I wipe until I bleed.
What?
You wipe until you bleed? No wonder you're sick all the time. Because you probably have open sores in your ass. You're getting poop into your bloodstream, dude.
The more I learn on Nick,
I feel like that's why you're always walking with a limp and shit. I mean, why? I thought you've had scurvy for like a couple. I think it's just because you got shit. I think you got a little shit butt.
I've always wondered that. Yeah, if you have an open sore in your asshole, there's poop coming out of there. Is that?
Yeah, it's easy to get infected. I don't think just because it's your asshole doesn't mean that. I think it's going in your bloodstream, buddy. I was just God damn, you're getting down after a little hurt locker down there. I'm telling you, ease up on yourself. I tell you, sometimes if I don't have the bidet, it feels like it's just like a kind of like a melted Hershey Kiss is just always on the precipice of my asshole. I can never. It doesn't matter. The more I'm like, it never goes anywhere. I even try scooping, digging anything. It doesn't get out. That
might be a hemorrhoid.
No, it's not a hemorrhoid. I've had a hemorrhoid. I have a hemorrhoid. You don't get rid of them. That thing came out of my ass. I'm telling you, I was like wiping one time. I was like, it's all sore. I think I've said this before, but it was like the size and the same as hard as a green apple Jolly Rancher. It was like that. It was unfucking real. It was pulsating as shit. I could feel my heartbeat on that. I was sitting there. I was like,
I'm speechless.
I don't know what was
right
up, but every time I went to the bathroom, I got shit on my hand.
Nick!
The water park thing is becoming more and more clear now, actually. You're walking around. Splash in the pool. Shit all over your hands. Within the past couple of years, over in Kentucky, a water park dealt with a chlorine-resistant parasite that had to shut down temporarily. The revolving. That's fucking scary. That's a sci-fi movie. Chemicals, they aren't killing it anymore. Motherfucker just mean mugging you from the water. I dare you to come in here with me. At Raging Water, Sacramento, a brawl involving 40 people broke out over a towel. The battle began after 2 drunk women got into an argument over someone's towel being stolen. And as it escalated, 35-year-old Christopher Neves tried to step in and break up the fight, but was assaulted and left unconscious without a pulse. After Christopher went down, things escalated and involved both families fighting one another in front of their kids. Eventually, police were called, and the park was shut down early while the police figured out what the fuck actually happened. And a similar situation occurred at Kalahari Resort in Ohio when someone cut in line at a surfing ride. As soon as the person cut, an argument broke out, and eventually a 10-person brawl was broken up by lifeguards. The fight would resume with 23-year-old Brittany Cabay throwing punches at nearby guests until she was picked up and body slammed into the ground. My God. She would suffer from a severe head injury that would cause her to lose consciousness. And during the chaos, her boyfriend Zachary would reportedly pick up a chair, hurl it into the crowd, then slip and knock himself unconscious, joining his girlfriend in the astral plane. Just baking in the sun. You'd think that the standard equipment for a security guard at a water park would be a radio and maybe handcuffs, yet online, security guards are posting photos of their handguns before their shifts at water parks. Okay, I don't know. Shooting rounds in the water. This has turned water park security guards into the laughingstock of the profession, with others showing off their over-the-top loadouts. In 2022, deputies were called to Hurricane
beer
Harbor
makes more
Splashdown
sense
Park regarding a
than
group of teens
fucking
who refused to
towel.
leave after being asked. During the arrest, a teen jumped on the deputy's back. Nearby security guards tried to step in and help, but that only drew the teen's attention to them. As the security guard began to assist, a teen girl punched them in the head while the other teens bit them on the arm. Eventually, all the teens would be arrested and charged with resisting arrest and assaulting an officer. As soon as a girl bit me right here, I fucking take her mouth, and I just like fucking Kong breaking that dinosaur's joke. The girl hit me.
I don't want to imagine that.
I take my baton and I do it right through her sternum. I say, just test me. Just test me. And she's probably got poop on her teeth. Everything we've heard about today about water parks, she's got probably shit teeth. Like a zombie attack. I only have so much time before I turn myself. I'm gonna take as many of you down with me as I can. And then, yeah, I'd fucking rain hell on everybody.
The gun comes out. I'm killing innocents at this point.
Jesus. God. Also, that line, my God, I'm killing innocents. I'm killing innocents at this point. Bystanders.
What were they on this video?
Whatever. All right, dude. Many water parks deal with serial poopers or peers in their waters. However, one park dealt with a serial peer who liked to piss on the rocks in the sauna room to fill it with steamed urine. At another water park, a lifeguard reported watching a man squat and lay a steam coil 20 feet from the bathroom, making direct eye contact with them. A man recalled that his younger brother used to go to the shallow end of his local pool and scoop up pieces of poop in a styrofoam cup to get free hot dogs from concession stands. What kind of deal is this? For every styrofoam cup of poop you fill, you get 1 free Coney dog. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? I guess that, you know that kind of rules though. Put it in the pool, get the poo-poo out,
get a hot dog.
Get a free hot dog. But see, that causes more poop in the pool. That's the catch-22 of the whole situation. At a water park in Texas, new lifeguards were encouraged during their training to jump into the pool to pee rather than waste time finding a bathroom.
I'm telling you, anybody who's like a water animal or something,
What do you mean a water animal? What does that mean? You mean someone who's just like an avid swimmer or something?
Someone like sports.
Oh, you're saying because your buddies that do the pool? Yeah, I'm sure they piss in the pool.
They encourage it.
I just think it's disgusting.
It is.
Yes.
I mean, you know, and when they are not fishing poop out of the water, water park staff are constantly catching people having sex. It's extremely common for people of all ages, including teens, to be caught in the act at a water park. It doesn't matter if it's in the lazy river or the wave pool. People will literally do it anywhere because they're fucking savages.
In the
Did you see
wave
that old
pool
video of that one woman looking at the lifeguard who's doing this, like doing this.
in the wave pool, it's insane. I feel like you would be doing it, the wave comes, your dick fucking snaps. No thank you. What the fuck? Hell no.
That old video of that one woman looking at the lifeguard who's doing this, like doing the scanning, and she thought she was like some kind of robot or alien. That was like a big conspiracy, was that like aliens were at the water parks.
God, dude.
They say it's to keep you alert, so you're scanning the pool, and also so you don't fall asleep. They say like it's a technique like...
I have seen so many lifeguards asleep at their post. Because the thing, it's the perfect, because they wear the glasses.
I
and they'll
barely
sit there.
even noticed lifeguards.
There's the glasses on, you can just tell he was like... Also looks comfy up in those big wooden chairs. Little umbrella over here in the shade, nice breeze coming in. Once you got a water park too, a little bit of water. Just
it looks so uncomfortable in my opinion.
I'd be out like also, can you imagine me? Can you imagine me being a lifeguard? A big fat ass, I would just be like, just use my body to try to propel yourself up, and I'll just float down to the bottom. If you've ever gone down a water slide, you'll know that there are tons of signs and warnings for a good reason. Looking at some of the slides found at water parks, it was a miracle that they were ever approved. Action Park is widely regarded as one of the most dangerous amusement water parks ever to open. For starters, the park featured an attraction called the Tarzan Swing, which let guests swing off a platform into a large pool. While it might sound harmless, it was anything but. On more than one occasion, guests would hold onto the rope too long and launch themselves into the pool's concrete wall. Guests also regularly dislocated their shoulders from the rope due to excessive torque during the swings, and pool itself was spring-fed, making it incredibly cold. This actually led to one person having a heart attack and dying after going into shock from hitting the water.
Yeah,
if rope swings aren't your thing, you could go down the Cannonball Loop water slide. The slide was a 50-foot long metal tube with a fully enclosed loop at the bottom. Riders at the top would have to be hosed down, otherwise there'd be too much friction and they would get trapped at either the top or bottom of the loop in complete darkness.
Yeah, that's my fear. That's
my fear. According to a former employee, the owner, Gene Mulvihill, would pay them $100 just to test ride the slide to make sure it was safe.
That is not enough.
After it was open, it was shut down permanently due to high number of injuries and maintenance needs. Many parents online have discussed how nerve-wracking it is to take their young child to a water park on account of how many potential injuries can occur. Some unfortunate kids have ended up seriously injured due to either recklessness or pure misfortune. One 14-year-old was left seriously injured after being sucked into a water park drain in Funtown Water Park in Crystal Beach, Texas. The teenager had been messing around with his friends, and at one point he had randomly decided to pick up a large grate attached to the drain in one of the park pools. Why?
Why?
County sheriffs believe that he did this as some sort of dare. As soon as he lifted it up, he slipped and fell inside the suction from the drain and began holding him underwater. His friends rushed to alert staff members, who turned off the pump, hoping it would release the suction, but it continued pulling him down, and he was eventually forced out of the drain, but was hospitalized due to the internal injuries he suffered. No legal action has ever been publicized about the disaster, so who knows? Maybe they paid him out of pocket.
Show the image of the crab getting sucked into the pipe.
No thanks.
Water pressure's scary.
Yeah. I think water slides are scary. I mean, like, I'm claustrophobic. I tell you, like, as a kid, I don't know how I did it. Those water slides are fucking, I mean, it's insane. I'm freaked out by water slides now. I can't.
Yeah.
The more you look into water parks, the more archaic they seem. From the people, the sanitation, and the endless risk to your physical safety, it's hard to imagine not feeling at least a little nervous attending one. There's truly no telling what can happen when you enter a place like that. So, if you find yourself going to a water park for whatever reason, be prepared for the dangers that lurk above below the water. And for the love of God, go to the doctor after. Just do a journal checkup when you're done.
Wipe your butt.
Wipe your butt and go pee in a toilet. Go poop in a toilet, for the love of God. And wipe your ass.
But it's so cold.
Ooh, it's cold.
Jesus. That is insane. I used to jump off like maybe diving boards into like 10 feet deep water. I could not imagine 30 to 50 feet. That's crazy. No. Yeah. Check your blood. Don't piss in the pool. And make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below. Would you go to a water park now after hearing these things? I would not. But until next time, bye. Jesus. Ay. I would never go to a water park. I would only go to probably my local recreation center because no one really goes to them except like old people. So let me go to the next video, which is gonna be Papa Meat. another water related one, but it's a little different. Damn. Okay. What? The next one is fishing is the worst. I used to fish a lot when I was like a kid. We used to fish at like a local, at like a creek that we had, a pond. I used to catch fish. And I don't really have like, I didn't really have a favorite fish to catch. I was just happy if I caught anything as a little kid. Damn. Okay. What's up, YouTube? My name is Mystic, and What's up, YouTube? My name is Mystic, and welcome to Mystic Reacts. Today we are watching a video by Papa Meat. Fishing is the worst. I used to fish a lot when I was younger, maybe like under 10 years old. Haven't fished since. I used to fish like a decent amount. So, I can kind of agree fishing is kind of the worst. Also, people who like do fish poses, like who like pose with their fish, don't use it as a dating picture. Just don't. It's not gonna work. Don't do that. It doesn't look good. Don't do that. But if you're new here, like, subscribe, and comment down below what your favorite fish is. Yeah. And let's get into the video and see why fishing is the worst.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Come on and sit down, because today we're going to be talking about fishing.
Fish.
When the hustle and bustle of everyday life has you stressed out, there's nothing quite as relaxing as a fishing trip with the boys, with the fellas, right? Which I've been trying to get.
Why did AutoMod choose that word opposed to literally any other part of that sentence? I like how the word bitches was the problem and not body pillow, but okay. But yes. I mean, I don't have a body pillow, but a body pillow, but it will get you a million more bitches than a fish photo will. Guarantee it. Yeah. 100,000 subs, and I will do that. If I ever release merch, absolutely. I'm not getting a faithful girlfriend? What the fuck? What if I want one? But I might just get the body pillow for myself, and maybe you'll get one or two in production, mainly just for myself. Like, not even to be weird, the length of body pillows is just perfect compared to like small ones. So like it's a good size. It's a good size. I don't know why we just sexualize it. It's a good size. Huh. AVI. What is that? Avatar? I'm malfunctioning. It would be pillow shaped. It would be a pillowcase. As long as you put it, as long as as long as it's the sticker and not anything sticky, that's fine. Just keep it a sticker. No. No. Pillow shaped. Okay, let's get into the video. We can. No. That would be an extra fee. Stickers only. Nothing sticky. Nothing sticky on the pillow. What? That's whenever I make it as a VTuber, I'll do that. Okay, you have that to look forward to. Whenever I make it as a VTuber, I shall do that. Oh boy, let's get to the video. Enough of that.
The team to go fishing forever because it's been boys with the fellas, right? When the hustle and bustle of everyday life has you stressed out, there's nothing quite as relaxing as a fishing trip with the boys, with the fellas, right? Which I've been trying to get the team to go fishing forever because it's been stressed, but Nick doesn't want to go.
I'm scared.
I find fishing stressful.
Scary, aren't they? Put up a picture of a fish.
Really? You got a fish while they're alive?
I never feel good about it.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
I've never kept a fish.
Hunting or
I always
fishing. I never
throw it
actually
back
liked doing any. I didn't like killing any of them.
Sad.
It is. Even for hunting, I remember my dad would take me hunting and I'd intentionally shoot over the deer.
I've never been hunting.
Or sometimes I just wish I would have it in my sights and I just do bang. And that's it.
You should have pointed a gun at your dad.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Dad. Hunter, Jesus Christ! You're the deer now. What if you could probably get away with that, right? You shoot your dad, buried in the woods. I don't know where Dad went. He ran off with a tall Puerto Rican woman. Mommy said that he wasn't even sorry. I guess we shouldn't look for him.
I would shoot him and be like, "Oh my God, it was an accident. He got in front of me." Like,
oh, so you're like, sorry, Daddy. Boom, and then you run off and you're just like, he was showing me how to do it. And he walked in front of the gun and actually shot it.
How are you gonna? Is anyone gonna know? It's you and the deers.
Tree cam.
Tree cam.
Or like the trail cams. You see deers in night vision. And then all of a sudden you standing there just point blank shooting your dad and you're like dancing over him stuff.
I will say the only way that works is a one and done. You better not miss. Because if you got a double tap, they're gonna be like, why is it?
There are people out there that claim fishing is one of the most boring and uneventful ways to spend your time. So it's hard for them to understand how people within the community live every day looking forward to their next cast. But it's true! Across... True. Fishing enthusiasts are some of the most passionate hobbyists out there, only second to those in the competitive scene. Fishing can be done in all sorts of ways, from the typical setup most of you have likely tried to much more extreme and life-threatening variations like dynamite fishing. So today, let's take a look at how dedicated and hardcore the fishing community really is.
We should do that, dynamite fishing.
I have.
Oh, have you? Oh shit.
I would say that it's not as uncommon. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's stupid. You shouldn't do it. But you know,
I
would say if you're
not
from
a big
the
nature
South,
fan.
Midwest region, whatever, a lot of these things are a lot more normal than you would expect. Or when people are like, "You did what? You fished with dynamite?" You're like, "Yeah."
I've seen too many videos of people losing their hands with explosives.
Dude, the amount of
I'm not a big fishing person. Something I've done that is slightly more entertaining is I would go into rivers and look for geodes. I would go geode hunting, grab a few buckets, put some rocks that look like they have geodes in it, and collect those. And then when you get home, you saw them in half and see what kind of geodes you have. That's what I did, like when I was in maybe elementary, middle school. I would do that. That was slightly more fun because you would walk around in the river for like a mile or two, just collecting geodes. Probably not legal, but I was a kid, so I was forced. Legally speaking, I was...
amount of even fireworks now. Yeah. The amount of videos I've seen of a guy like holding something and you like literally see his hand, it's like all falling off. What's crazy is they don't react really.
No.
They do.
They're in shock.
It was probably dynamite probably to kill them.
The worst one I've seen was these kids put like an M80 in a glass bottle.
A what?
Why would you do it?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Just rip them to shreds.
Is that a
shrapnel?
bullet?
Well, I mean, I think it's always that pause. Oh my God!
Oh my God!
It's
They killed
bang,
Kevin.
absent sides, then. Ah! Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Nick, let me ask you this. This is a fishing video. If you were a fish, which fish would you be? I already know the fish I'd be.
Be a trout.
I was going to say the same thing.
Oh.
I was going to say a rainbow trout.
Rainbow trout, yeah.
Ah.
I would be
Rainbow
a
trout
bat.
brothers.
Yes.
We're gay. Fishing isn't just some kind of boomer sport. In fact, younger and younger generations are flocking to it. It could be due to the influx of fishing content that has hit short-form platforms, making it easier to see the highlights the sport has to offer, working as an approachable guide to entering the hobby. It's a way to separate yourself from the busy world and spend time with friends or even just yourself while enjoying nature and the potential of catching something impressive. I think it's the same thing. People, younger generations, are going in droves to fishing the same way that I see a lot of younger people also crocheting again. It's going back to a traditional thing where you have like you have an actual like you're working towards something. It's the same thing with like doing catching fish. If you're doing it of like even catch and release, it's the satisfaction of being like of the ritual, or even catching something and eating it for dinner that
I've
night. So I
only
think people are coming
catched
back to
and
a more
released.
traditional way of wanting, at least a younger generation I've been saying, just crocheting crazy. The amount of crocheters I see now.
I've tried catch and release, and it just always kills the fish when they rip the hook out.
I don't think I've ever
You're just
killed
tearing
a
it all the way
fish.
down its belly. Sorry, fishy.
It's stuck back there. And then you throw it back in, and it just floats.
Here, come on camera and then float the way you said that this poor rainbow trout's floating.
Nick.
He's floating like this. Hold on. He's just going.
You alive? That's you.
Yeah.
You alive down there, buddy?
Come on, buddy.
Exactly. He hasn't had the water in his gills yet.
Yeah.
Come on, buddy. Get down there.
It's kind of like eating the hamster. Did I tell his hamster story?
Uh-oh.
Kill
Nick.
your hamster?
I think so. Or he was overheating. I like to believe he was overheating, and I just put the final nail in the coffin. But I had a mean hamster and a nice hamster, and I took the nice hamster out, and I tried putting him in his little ball, and I think I dropped him in, he landed on his back, and I was like, oh no, scooped him out, put him back in his little hamster hotel, and he wasn't moving. So I tried to wake him up by pushing him down the slide, and he just pathetically like went down, plopped. And I was like, uh-oh. So
Are you saying that you spiked the hamster into a ball on the ground? That's where he's not moving. Come on, Mr. Whiskers, wake up.
we had like a Siberian hamster, most evil thing. You put your hand in there, just tack and stick to it. You have to. I don't know what time he
He's
bit
fighting
me.
for his life in there, Nick. It's overheating. You guys put him right by the fucking window. He's boiling alive in a plastic box. Carcinogens floating all around him.
I'm surprised the Siberian hamster didn't die because he bit my finger and I went and flew that sucker across.
He fucking threw this slingshot that motherfucker around the room, didn't you?
Yeah,
He hit
Nick
the
has some
ceiling fan.
crazy stories.
Shot around the room, yeah.
This video is sponsored by Helix Sleep. Gain some of your independence
Hell yeah.
back with perfect rest and deep sleep with Helix. 1 in 3 adults do not get the right. Plus, the pillow has helped reduce my neck pain when I sleep, which has been a huge upgrade to my sleep. Thank you, Helix, for sponsoring this video.
Hell yeah.
Visit helixsleep.com/PapaB to take advantage of our 4th of July sale and get 20% off site-wide. And be on the lookout for additional sales on the Helix Sleep site. Head to Helix Sleep and start sleeping in your new mattress today. Thank you, Helix Sleep, for sponsoring the video. Now back to the video.
It's clear that fishing brands want to cater to younger generations, as fishing merchandise have evolved from the boomer dad fish fear me aesthetic, which I think is wrong. That's the wrong. We need to stay in that realm.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I ironically love those shirts. I would love to have one of those
Boomer dad fish fear me aesthetic.
women want me, fish fear me shirts. I would love to get one of those. I love those kind of shirts so much. I love them so much. They're so yeah. Women want me, fish fear me. Hell yeah.
Which I think is wrong. That's the wrong. We need to stay in that realm.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, several brands will team up with IPs like Hatsune Miku,
Oh, yeah, I
Evangelion,
saw that.
and One Piece to make things like glow-in-the-dark fishing rods or heavily themed accessories. One Piece won't make sense to me. It's a fish ocean.
Oh yeah.
Why not? Like, why would you not? There's fish all the time in that show.
They cook fish.
Really?
Sanji cooks everybody
I've
fish
only
Ava,
seen
though,
like
she
one or
with
two
the hand.
episodes.
with the bait in it.
Yeah, it's the bait and lure. I'm so fucked up. However, some still gladly go on shops like Etsy to buy insanely raunchy fishing shirts.
What did that say?
However,
I'll show you my bobbers if you show me your pole.
some still gladly go on shops like
I like when she bends over, but I love it when she tugs on my worm and swallows. Type of shit I would wear. Honestly, I would wear that shit.
Etsy to buy insanely raunchy
I have a big dock to fish off.
fishing shirts that read things
Just hold my rod, wiggle my worm, and bam, she's on it.
things like, and I quote, "I like it when she bends over, and I love it when she tugs on my worm and
Hell yeah, brother."
shirt. We should get that shirt. Or branded shirts for made-up charter companies called Mike Litterus. To get a glimpse at just how far the love of fishing can go, look no further than the competitive fishing scene. Typically, a fishing competition is when multiple people fish in the same area under a set amount of time. The one who captures the more impressive fish under specific scoring criteria wins. But like with any sport, there are competitors that will do anything to win. Even the fishing scene, there are cheaters. Which, let me tell you something. This is one of the main reasons.
I remember hearing a story. I don't know if it's true. Where they put like rocks or like magnets in fishes. So for like a contest for the heaviest fish, and only one guy didn't cheat, so he won. I think that's the story.
I wanted to make this video is because I got down the fucking rabbit hole of people catching other people cheating in competitive fishing. Gold mine. There's weights in fish. When you hear that, it's like a fucking. That's how I feel every time.
It makes sense. Like, is there thousands of dollars online?
Oh, dude, yeah. You'll see. I'm sure we'll talk about it here, but over in Guernsey, in the Ballywick Bass Club competition, was hosted in 2012 and held a 800-pound prize. Matthew Andrew Clark had no interest in losing the payout, so he devised an elaborate plan. He snuck off to a local aquarium in St. Peter's Port to scope out a fish that was big enough to win the competition. After spotting a 13-pound bass, he reached in and stole it from his home of over 15 years. And during the competition, he pretended to fish like his life depended on it before yanking out the stolen bass. Matthew won the competition, proudly posing for photos with a shit-eating grin on his face. And what he didn't count on was another competitor somehow recognized the fish after visiting the same aquarium. He informed the police, and Matthew
How do you recognize fish? Nerd behavior, nerd alert.
Committing the crime as long as he could before he was at the end of his rope. He was put on probation and sentenced to 100 hours of community service, which I gotta say, very sad. Poor fish. Where are we going? Club.
Club. You think if he just put it back, though, there'd be no crime? If he was just like, well, I guess he's out of the water. He might be dead.
That's a bold crime to actually do, especially a big fisher. Of course those motherfuckers are going to an aquarium.
How do you spot that? How do you know it's like, goddamn, there's fucking jam from the aquarium?
A 13-pound fish is huge. That's crazy. To where you probably are like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Or all those fishermen going up there and being like fantasizing, man, what I wouldn't do, what I wouldn't give to catch something as big as you. Come on now.
You think there's like some fisher-philes out there?
Grab the hook. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure there was a book out there written by a guy who had sex with a dolphin. He said he had a relationship with a dolphin.
You think people put like, like little peanut butter on their tip and just
Nick.
Probably.
Like on the surface of the water waiting for a little.
Nick.
Yeah, just. I mean, anyone ever do that before? That'd be a weird experiment, right? You went in water and
anyone
nibbling at your cock for a bit. This is a smaller event with a menial prize, so Clark's punishment wasn't nearly as drastic as it could have been. However, this is child's play compared to how cheating is handled at a more prestigious event. Over in Cleveland, Ohio, the 2022 Lake Erie Walleye Trail held a big fishing tournament. Unlike the last event we mentioned, people were paying hundreds of dollars to enter one of their multiple events, and the prize money of the line was far greater. Look at the dollar amount here. Ooh. Not just that, but official events like this pave the way to brand sponsorships and other benefits, so competitors take the circuit very, very seriously. It not only is the prize money, but it's also a potential professional fishing career that you could have. The goal was to catch 5 of the heaviest walleye fish possible, with the highest weight to beat after the contest ended being nearly 17 pounds. Somehow, the team consisting of 43-year-old Jacob Runyon and 36-year-old Chase Komsky dominated the competition with a total weigh-in of around 34 pounds of walleye fish. They were crowned the winners, but people were heavily suspicious about the turnout, especially because they'd already been under suspicion of cheating doing consistently well in previous years' events, right? No one can be that hot forever, right? As complaints started to swarm event officials, tournament director Jason Fisher, good name for that, decided to put things to rest by slicing open the fish and checking inside to confirm their weight was natural. In a now viral video, Fisher opens up one to immediately find lead weights and fish fillets pouring out of them, and he screams, "We got weights and fish! We got weights and fish!" And all at once, a crowd descended upon them, screaming and cursing him out as Jacob is seen standing in stunned silence. Get the out of here! Let me tell you, the first time I watched this video, it's so hyped. I didn't know what was going on really at first, but it's like finding out that the guy that they're screaming out has like kidnapped a child. He's like, she's over here, that kind of thing. It's insane. Jacob and Chase's $28,000 worth of prizes were quickly denied. I mean, 30 grand.
I'd be pissed too.
Which I would be fucking pissed for too. And also, how many times have they gotten away with it? To where now there's like word of mouth kicking around.
Oh, I'd take every prize they won.
Oh yeah,
just like magic. Yu Watanabe.
Yu Watanabe style.
Yeah, do the same thing.
Fortunately for them, Fisher was a police sergeant and was able to get them to leave before they were torn apart by the mob. Everything was turned over as evidence, and the processing investigation led to their fishing licenses being suspended and a $2,500 fine, and the $130,000 boat they used in the event being seized. They're now the laughingstock of the pro fishing world. 130 grand fishing boat gone. Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Fishing is such a fixation for some people that it makes companionship hard to maintain, especially if you haven't found a fish-loving partner. That's why across many fishing communities online, you'll find frequent posts about dating and relationships. I didn't think that they did.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Some of the biggest posts of them consist of men showing off the big fish they got despite being dumped by the love of their lives the same day. I mean, how could you leave me when I just caught this? I mean, like, seriously, Rebecca.
How could you do that?
Just fucking leave if that's the case.
I like how this guy zip tied his wedding ring to the fish's tail.
What is the point of that?
Why?
I don't know.
The fish is clearly dead on the sidewalk here. What if this is outside of his house? That's his wife's ring.
Yeah.
Fucking keep it.
Keep it, bitch. Oh, maybe that's what he did, threw the fish in. Hero!
Yeah, exactly. Fucking take it! Some men will get much more theatric, like Captain Jason Rose, who had been divorced after a near 10-year marriage. Eventually, he wanted to get rid of his wedding band while also expressing a stern fuck you to the woman who never supported his fishing hobby. He zip-tied the ring around the tail of a steelhead trout and threw it back into the water, where it was eventually caught by a man named Jim Nelligan while fishing in the Lake Michigan, turning the event into a public news story. Oh, so okay, so the guy who with the photo we just saw, that's the guy who caught it. He's like, what the hell is this? And yeah, the guy showed up with took off his hat. Sir, you just found my wedding ring. Some avid anglers can't even be bothered to attend a wedding. One woman rants online about how her father was so dead set on his fishing tournament that he chose to go to that over her own wedding, despite it being scheduled over a year prior.
What the fuck?
Well, exactly. Look, you know what, darling, you look beautiful, but I have got to
I gotta go
That's the
fish.
guy doesn't want to go to the wedding.
Do you fucking blame him? When have you ever been to a fun wedding, actually? That you, I mean, if you were not the bride or groom,
I think I've only been to like one wedding in my life when I was like 5 or something. I've never been to a wedding since, and I don't plan on having one either. So I never get to suffer through one of those. Like, hopefully.
not having a good time.
Well, you get some pussy there from the bridesmaids.
A little wedding crasher meme?
Well, that's fun.
Have you done that? You've never gotten pussy at a wedding, have you?
I've gotten made fun of by the...
What's the difference?
Harry and our buddy Joey were dancing. I forgot I said something, and they totally dissed me. They're just like, I forget. But they embarrassed me, and I just sulked back to my table.
What a colorful story.
Yeah, okay, Nick.
Thank you. Thanks for pretending to walk like a chimp, like I stole back to my table. To make matters worse, the tournament wouldn't even begin until a week after the wedding. He just wanted to get there a week early. Well, I gotta get early. I mean, come on, I gotta get my spot. It's for like camping. Yeah, I'm still on his side.
Yeah.
I need to wait in line to fish.
Gotta get out there. Gotta feel the water. You're probably doing a couple practice rounds.
I would say, honey, I don't want to, for sweetie, I don't want to show up for the wedding, but I'll support you on this honeymoon. That's where the real fun's at.
Do you think he did that so he didn't have to front the bill?
Oh.
Because isn't it the wife's dad's responsibility to pay for the wedding? Kind of fucked up tradition is that, too. You know what I mean?
Well, because the man provides, you know, so it's like the women's got to offer something.
Nick.
God. What is wrong with you today? First off, the woman's got to fight. You're talking about her dad.
Yeah. Something's wrong with him every day.
It's got to be like, basically, this is old tradition. Is a thing of like, you're accepting this woman into your family.
If you're taking my little daughter away from me and giving her a new last name, you're paying for the fucking wedding. Hey, cha-ching. There it is. Put it on your card, dude. She's not mine anymore, apparently.
The dowry is like, you know, you're about to take on this heavy burden of this woman who will not do anything.
My daughter, and she is a big old girl. No, I'll get the bill because you have got your hands full. She's there. She's like, thank you, Paul. You look beautiful today. Now I'm going to get the hell out of here. You guys have fun. When it comes to dating, women claim that one of the biggest turnoffs ever is guys posting pictures holding the fish they've caught. In fact, a survey consisting of 2,200 adult dating app users from the UK revealed that this type of photo was one of the quickest things that made them swipe left, only next to the men posting photos of themselves with their ex-partners cropped out of them. That is very lazy, isn't it? God damn, I look good in that.
Yeah.
It's weird about the UK. I would expect UK women to be like, I like that, because they like fish and chips. Oh, that's nice. I'll take a baked potato with tuna. Wouldn't you expect a British girl to like a fisherman, though?
Oh, I think fishermen are notoriously abusive.
Where are you getting this from? You've
experienced Nick
abuse so much. For what? For what reason? Is there actually anything that's backing that up? Or
it's the stereotype of they get drunk, you know, they go out fishing, they come home and beat their wife, and daddy's little girl doesn't like seeing that, so they want to marry a different man.
Daddy's little girl doesn't like seeing that. Wow. For people angered by this, you'll be happy to know that there are plenty of dating apps catering specifically to the fishing community. There are platforms like Fair Game for fishers and hunters, and even offshoots like Fly Lords that cater to fly fishers. You would assume, right? You would assume there's got to be a dating market for everything. Is there like a dating app for every subsect now? Because remember back in the day, the big ones were like,
where's the dating app for gamers?
And then Farmers Only.
I need that.
Those are the two ones I remember had like broadcast television where you're like, what?
There's
I need to find me
a
someone.
dating website called like FetLife or something. It's for fetishes. So then you like.
I would imagine that would be because then it's just easier. Just like, let's just cut to the chase.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this: as someone who's still in the active dating scene and stuff, does these dating websites do they have things now where there's categories? Like I'd almost expect these dating websites like Tinder or like Facebook Dating or whatever kind of thing where it's like, okay, it's this, and you literally it's like a spreadsheet thing of like you're a fucking Christian furry,
zero chance,
whatever, and it puts you in this category or like a certain box, or is it still just free for all?
It's free for all. The biggest one is just interest. It'll like there's filters on some of the apps, but you have to pay for them. But it tries to match you up like if you like reading or going to museums.
I would
or
never
art,
pay
like,
for
this
dating
person
app.
likes these same things.
Oh, so it's just it's basically saying like what your checklist is versus your check or their checklist and comparing them.
Because these apps are still conventional dating, which is like a lot of these specific ones feel like fetish ones, where it's like.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Even like Farmers Only, or even like the fishing ones. You think that's like a fetish website?
I think it's trying to maybe I mean, if that's like the specific type.
If you are only ever interested in a fishing person, is it not nice to just be like, I'm on this website with someone who's like-minded? The same way I was saying though, where it's like if you could break down your experience to just being like, I literally only want a furry person or whatever.
There's furries only.
Is there probably is. There probably is something like that. But I'm just saying, like, if you had it to where it was like Facebook Dating or Tinder, I'm surprised they haven't done that to where it's like it just literally mitigates your experience. But then I guess it's not as evergreen.
Yeah.
You're not making as much money if you're not like if you run out of swipes, what's the point? Yeah. When most people decide to go fishing, they'll pick up a regular rod and reel. For some anglers, however, that is simply not intense enough. Many likely aren't aware of how much variety there is in the world of fishing gear. Ice fishing is a massive wintertime sport that has lots of anglers participate in it every year. All you have to do is go to a lake, drill a hole in some ice, and get fishing, right? You just drop the lure down and just wait. In some instances, people will sit out in a chair or bucket in the elements, but others go above and beyond, bringing massive lodges onto the lakes. Typically, ice fishing huts are basically tents, but these pale in comparison to some of the more luxurious fishing huts on the market. If you want it, there are rentable houses with heat, indoor bathrooms, and bunk beds, full
that would
kitchens,
be
and
even
Wi-Fi.
more
This way, you can
boring than
practically live
regular
out on the lake
fishing.
and be ice fishing all day. I would be horrified that it would break and I would be sinking.
I've seen someone they cut a hole in their car to go ice fishing, and they just got a little like cork they pop out.
That's pretty sweet, actually. These lake mansions have holes in the floor that allow you to remove the cover and fish at any time of day. Larger huts are usually found far north because the ice is much thicker there. Otherwise, they'd fall straight through and you'd fucking drown or it'd just destroy it. That's no good. Falling through the ice is the biggest fear of any ice fisherman. In fact, it's more common than you think. Some people don't check the ice reports before heading out and drive their 2-ton truck onto the ice, only for it to break through and sink to the bottom of the goddamn lake.
Damn.
Happens to the best of us. Another fall risk occurs when too many fishermen cut through the ice at once, causing it to break apart and send everyone into the lake. I would say overall, ice fishing is generally accepted everywhere it gets cold enough, but some cities ban fishermen from going on the ice at all. In Hudson, Ohio, the mayor was laughed out for his ridiculous reason for not allowing ice fishing. He claimed that allowing ice fishermen would lead to homeless people putting ice shanties on the lake. Basically, he saw that the homeless would.
Oh no, homeless gets home.
Populate the lake. He also argued that this would escalate into ice shanty brothels out on the lake, and he would simply not want the sheriff to get involved.
And if you then allow ice fishing with shanties, then that leads to another problem: prostitution.
I don't want people fucking out on the lake with homeless people. I just
I can't stand the idea.
Stop. If freezing out on a lake and using a reel doesn't interest you, lots of anglers use more interesting methods to capture their prey. Bow fishing is an extremely popular form of fishing. You use a regular composite bow, except the arrows are attached to a string that is protected by a reel. Most bow fishers' use are much different as well. They're practically warships on lakes. The biggest difference is a massive elevated shooting deck that gives the fishermen an advantage when shooting into the water. Many anglers choose to bow fish at night by using massive LED lights just below the shooting deck to illuminate the fish in the water, making them easier targets. Which to me, I'm like, you know what? What the fuck's the fun in that? To be fair though, if it's for actually eating, then I mean, what are we doing? I need to get food. But if it's something for recreational use, turn the fucking light off, dude. You already have a fucking crossbow you're shooting into the water, you know? While fishing is generally pretty regulated in the US, plenty of fishermen still bring firearms out into the water and turn their catches into red paste. You know? Jesus. Come on. Where do you think we're at? In Wisconsin, the DNR was struggling to prevent people from blasting fish out of the sky, so they passed a law making it illegal for fishermen to even carry a gun. This law was recently repealed, but after doing so, they had to beg people to stop shooting fish. Please! Stop! Another legal form of fishing is blast fishing, otherwise known as dynamite fishing. This form of fishing is banned worldwide because of the damage it does to the ecosystems. Also, out of every 10 fish you blast, you might catch 5 and leave the other 5 basically vaporized. And also, people blow up.
It's probably the biggest one.
I'm telling you, people The amount of hands I've just seen get eviscerated online is unbelievable.
Also, dynamite? An actual stick of dynamite?
Yeah.
How do you even
You
get
throw
that?
water. Blast up. Little Wile E. Coyote stick of dynamite, dude. It's also fairly common for the fishermen to get caught in the blast regardless of whether they're on or off land. For example, in 2025, 2 blast fishermen from the Philippines died after they leveled their home making ammonium nitrate bombs. Be a bummer, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that bummer. I thought about getting into pyrotechnics when I was younger, but I was too scared that I'd blow myself up.
Why?
Why?
Why would you think about getting into
Oh,
pyrotechnics?
for filmmaking. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a.
Oh, you want to
squib.
get, you said what you're saying though is you're like, I want to get into special effects.
Yeah, exactly. But I was too scared because like, oh, I'm gonna make a squib, and I was like, get black powder. It's like, and I'm just afraid that.
Oh, because it has to do a little pop.
Yeah. Which I mean, the small amount on you is not gonna cause harm, but it's just getting like the big gallon bucket of powder, and my ass would
Yeah, blow it up. Over in Malaysia, 2 tourists and a local diving instructor were found dead surrounded by fish after a fisherman dropped bombs on them. After diving about 20 feet down, the trio was hit by a homemade bomb that damaged the nearby coral, broke their mask, and killed several fish. Their bodies were discovered when the boat driver returned to the area and saw their bodies along the massive amounts of sea foam. Nobody in the area heard any explosions, but the victims' autopsies confirmed that they had suffered from major internal injuries from a blast. Police would launch an investigation and arrest 2 fishermen in connection with the murder. How crazy is that, actually? I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I never
I've never even thought about divers are just being like, oh, you're fishing and you don't know people are diving down there. Well, you know, I think that you would probably just assume that you would see their boat.
Yeah.
Or something, but even then, you never know.
Exactly. You don't know how far they've traveled.
Yeah, that's fucking horrifying.
Also, yeah, you can probably see their boat over there.
Can you imagine being like swimming?
Yeah.
And then you just see.
That would be terrifying.
I mean, that'd be fucking wild, man.
Also, that doesn't sound like an instant death.
No, I think they probably got injured and drowned or something, which would it's just fucking horrifying.
Oh god, or like yeah, their ears are ruptured, their tank ruptured too.
Ooh. Brutal. What a fucking horrible way to die. My god. I like how they drove off too.
Yeah. You guys okay?
Yeah, you with your hamster. You all right down there, buddy? There are all sorts of equipment you could choose to fish with, but some would rather just use their hands. Noodling is one of the most basic forms of fishing and requires the angler to stick their hands into holes along the riverbank, hoping a catfish bites on so they can pull them out. You ever see that? That's one that I feel like I could never do.
I can never do that either.
It freaks me out.
I feel like, yeah, they...
Sometimes it's referred to as tickling or hogging, and it's legal in 17 states, most of which are in the South. Which I think
All
is
those
like mostly
names
where
suck.
Yeah,
you can do this kind of stuff. It's like the mudfish, like catfish, all that kind of stuff. The hardest part of noodling is finding a hole to reach into. It's also the most dangerous part, as you never know what could be in the hole waiting to bite. One seasoned noodler described all the injuries he's seen over the years during an interview, and it's amazing that he still returns for more. It is common for people to break their fingers when the fish latches onto their hands. It's also common for people's hands to turn black and blue, or for their noses to be busted from the fish violently thrashing. In one instance, the man had to take his brother to the ER after a channel catfish impaled his arm with its dorsal fin. While reaching into holes, people have also been cut by stray underwater rebar and submerged barrels where fish live. Another big risk of noodling is drowning. People underestimate how strong currents as well as the catfish themselves can be. People have caught 80 to 100-pound catfish with their bare hands. During these outings, most noodlers have a spotter, because if the fish is big enough or if their hand gets stuck in the hole, they have to be pulled out of the water. You gotta go with your buddy. That's insane. 80 to 100-pound catfish? Fuck sakes, man. Strong motherfuckers doing that stuff.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's fighting shit. Yeah.
My god. We can go on all day about fish-related accidents, but fish aren't the only threat out on the boat. Fishing is a sport that can get people pretty worked up, which is why some of the biggest threats to a fisherman are the people around him. Recently, an unhinged video went viral in which an adult man from a lakefront property was furious to see a 14-year-old kid and his friend fishing in the lake. What started as threats of physical violence immediately escalated into the adult slapping the child before pushing him onto the ground and holding his head underwater for several seconds. Eventually, people stepped in and ripped him apart, which is just fucking insane. See, that's the kind of guy where I'm like, those guys, like when it's a adult man, it's first off, you're fishing. To not have the mental fortitude to just be like, you know what? They're not supposed to be here. I'm gonna like call somebody and get like to back off, but to escalate to violence like that, for me personally, my opinion, Nick, can I say my opinion?
Say your opinion. You may.
People like that should have their legs broken.
Well, conveniently, the kid in the story had broken legs.
Well, that's why he couldn't fight back. That is what you're saying, yeah.
He was on crutches, and then the guy went up to him, slapped him, threw him in the water. What's weird is that his friends didn't pull him off for like a good couple minutes, which I was like, the second they hit the water, I'd be trying to break it up.
I don't think. I mean, to me, that's not that crazy. You're shot. You're young. You're shocked. Oh, okay. Whatever. Oh, well, I don't want him to hurt me.
Yeah.
Whatever. Granted, it's easy in hindsight to be like, if it was my boy, I'd help. Whatever.
That's true.
But Nick, somebody slapping you around, I don't know. Maybe I hide around a corner.
I'd snap. I'd go banana.
Yeah. Jump on his back. Yeah.
So I thought if I ever got into a fight, I would go straight for the kill. I wouldn't mess around. Get on the back, choke him out, bite his ear.
Nick. You gotta do.
You got it. Yeah, I ain't messing around.
A lot of people don't know how to do that though. Like me, I'm too fat and clumsy. There's no way it would happen. Try to go immediately trip. Fall to the ground. All right, we're good. Most people think of fishing as simply as a hobby, but that is far from the truth. Fishing is an entire lifestyle for some. One that can be extremely rewarding and almost therapeutic. If you're unsure about whether or not it's for you, start small. Grab a few beers and a couple buddies, and you just might understand why people are absolutely hooked on it. See what we did there? But no, seriously, if you haven't fished before, try it. It's fun. And also, you do a thing with catch and release. You have to be like Nick. I don't know what the fuck. It's usually very easy to grab a fish and just and throw it back out. I don't know what you're talking about. I think Nick is like sticking his whole hand in there being like, that's weird, fishy dead. It's a good time though. It's therapeutic. Also, it's an excuse to even if you don't even fish, get on a boat and just float on some water. I'm telling you, it's heaven. Literally, just sit out there and float. Oh.
That's what we would do. We just go up to the lake and just drink and then get sick. Oh.
There it is. And that's our video today. I hope you liked it.
Wow, the Nick stories have been weird lately. But hope you enjoyed. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and comment down below what your favorite fish is. And until next time, bye bye. Let me number that. Okie dokie. Do I want to do one more Papa Meat video? I think I'll call it there for tonight, because I still need to edit them. So I want to have 2 for tomorrow. So, until next time, I will hopefully be streaming tomorrow earlier than I did today. I don't know what I'll stream. Maybe I'll do a study stream. Maybe it'll be ASMR. Probably study. Realistically, probably study. Good night. Good night. Thank you. I shall see y'all next time. Bye-bye. And, yeah. Hopefully, whenever I do an ASMR stream, y'all will enjoy it. But, until next time, bye. Bye-bye.